Silence can often be overshadowed by the noise of our thoughts, words, and actions. We find ourselves constantly talking, texting, or posting on social media, filling our lives with endless chatter. However, the wisdom of Buddhism reminds us that there are times when silence is not just golden, but also profoundly transformative. It teaches us to recognize the power of silence and to use it wisely, especially in 5 crucial situations. This journey through the spiritual teachings of Buddhism will take us on a voyage to understand the significance of always be silent in 5 situations. These teachings offer profound insights that can inspire us to lead a more mindful, harmonious, and purposeful life. Let's explore these ancient wisdoms, embracing the serenity of silence and finding solutions to our life problems. The power of silence. Silence is not merely the absence of noise. It's a profound state of being. In the words of the great Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light. If our minds are crowded with words and thoughts, there is no space for us. Buddhism recognizes this space and encourages its cultivation in various aspects of life. Silence is a gateway to inner peace, mindfulness, and self-awareness. It offers us the opportunity to listen, not only to the world outside, but more importantly, to the whispers of our own hearts and minds. It's a powerful tool that can transform the way we interact with the world and navigate life's challenges. As we embark on this journey through the 5 situations where silence is recommended in Buddhism, let us keep in mind that silence is not about being passive or indifferent. It's about being present, attuned, and intentional. Let us explore these situations, understand their significance, and embrace silence as a source of empowerment. Silence in the face of anger. Always be silent when you are angry. These words hold profound wisdom. For anger is a powerful and often destructive emotion. When we are angry, our words and actions are fueled by this intense emotion, and they can lead to unintended consequences. Buddhism teaches us that anger arises from attachment, aversion, and ignorance. When we become attached to our desires or aversions, and when we fail to see the impermanence and interconnectedness of all things, anger can take hold of us. In such moments, silence is a potent antidote. Silence gives us the space to pause and reflect on the source of our anger. It allows us to take a step back and observe our emotional reaction without immediate judgment or expression. Through silence, we can engage in mindful breathing and self-inquiry, gaining insight into the root causes of our anger. Furthermore, silence is a shield against the harsh words and actions that often accompany anger. It prevents us from causing harm to others and ourselves. In the silence of restraint, we can protect our relationships and create an atmosphere of calm and understanding. In the Buddhist tradition, there is a story of the 2 arrows. The first arrow represents the initial pain or suffering we experience when something distressing happens to us. The second arrow symbolizes the suffering we inflict on ourselves through our reaction to the first arrow. By practicing silence in the face of anger, we can avoid shooting that second arrow and reduce unnecessary suffering. Let's delve deeper into the wisdom of silence in the face of anger. To truly understand this teaching, it's important to explore the nature of anger itself and why Buddhism emphasizes silence as the appropriate response. Anger, in Buddhism, is often seen as a manifestation of our attachments and aversions. When we desire something intensely or are averse to a particular situation, anger can emerge as a response to the perceived threat to our desires. The attachment to our desires blinds us to the interconnectedness of all things and the impermanence of the world. In the face of anger, silence becomes a sanctuary of self-awareness and reflection. When we're angry, our minds are clouded with emotions, and our thoughts are often irrational and impulsive. In this state, our words and actions can lead to regret and harm, both to ourselves and others. Silence allows us to step back from the immediate intensity of our anger. It provides a buffer between our emotions and our reactions. Instead of lashing out in the heat of the moment, we can take a breath, Give ourselves a moment of stillness and observe the anger without judgment. This practice is rooted in mindfulness and self-awareness, key components of the Eightfold Path. In silence, we can ask ourselves essential questions. Why am I angry? What am I attached to in this situation? What aversion is triggering this anger? These inquiries can lead to profound insights into the root causes of our anger. We may discover that our attachments are unrealistic, that our aversions are based on misunderstandings, or that our expectations are causing our suffering. Moreover, silence serves as a shield that protects us from the consequences of our impulsive words and actions. In moments of anger, we might say hurtful things or make regrettable decisions. By choosing silence, we prevent ourselves from causing harm to others and maintain the integrity of our relationships. The story of the two arrows illustrates this point beautifully. The first arrow represents the initial pain or suffering we experience when something distressing happens to us. This is a part of life, and it's unavoidable. However, the second arrow symbolizes the suffering we inflict on ourselves through our reaction to the first arrow. By responding to the first arrow with anger, we shoot the second arrow, causing unnecessary suffering. Through the practice of silence in the face of anger, we can learn to deal with the first arrow more skillfully. We acknowledge the pain, but we don't compound it with our anger and reactivity. This not only reduces our own suffering, but also prevents us from causing harm to others, fostering a more compassionate and harmonious environment. Silence in the face of anger is a call to mindfulness, self-inquiry, and restraint. It empowers us to transform anger into understanding and compassion. By embracing this teaching, we can gradually cultivate emotional resilience and wisdom. The practice of silence in the face of anger is not about suppressing our emotions or denying their existence. Instead, it's an invitation to engage with our emotions in a more constructive and mindful way. When we remain silent, we create a space for self-reflection and self-compassion. We acknowledge our anger without judgment and observe it with curiosity. This simple act of paying attention to our emotions can be transformative. In addition to self-awareness, silence also allows us to listen more attentively to others. When we're angry, our focus is often solely on our own feelings and perspectives. We may be so wrapped up in our emotions that we fail to hear what the other person is saying or to empathize with their point of view. By choosing silence, we can open our hearts and minds to a deeper understanding of the situation and the people involved. The power of silence in the face of anger lies in its ability to break the cycle of reactivity. When we respond with anger to a situation, we often trigger a chain reaction of negative emotions and actions. Our anger may provoke defensiveness or counter-anger in others, leading to a destructive cycle of conflict. Silence interrupts this pattern and offers an opportunity for a more peaceful and constructive resolution. Ultimately, the practice of silence in the face of anger leads to greater emotional balance and equanimity. It empowers us to let go of grudges and resentments, making room for forgiveness and understanding. By cultivating this practice, we move closer to the ideal of being free from the suffering caused by anger, which is one of the central aims of Buddhism. Silence in the face of gossip and slander. Always be silent when you hear gossip and slander. This teaching underscores the importance of mindful speech and the consequences of engaging in harmful communication. Gossip and slander are like poisoned arrows that can harm not only the person being spoken about, but also the one who speaks. In Buddhism, right speech is a fundamental ethical guideline, emphasizing the importance of speaking truthfully, kindly, and beneficially. Gossip and slander violate these principles and can create disharmony and suffering. Choosing silence in the face of such talk aligns with the principles of right speech and promotes a more compassionate and harmonious society. Gossip and slander often stem from negative emotions like jealousy, resentment, or a desire to harm someone's reputation. Engaging in such speech not only perpetuates negative emotions within ourselves, but also spreads negativity to others. It can damage relationships, trust, and community bonds. Silence in these situations serves multiple purposes. Firstly, it prevents us from participating in harmful speech. By choosing not to engage in gossip or slander, we avoid the moral and karmic consequences of speaking untruths or causing harm to others. Secondly, silence provides an opportunity to reflect on the intention behind the gossip or slander. Are we engaging in this behavior out of envy, anger, or fear? Such self-reflection can be a catalyst for personal growth and transformation. Additionally, choosing silence can encourage those engaging in gossip to rethink their words. When we refuse to participate or listen to such conversations, it sends a signal that we do not condone such behavior. This non-participation may inspire others to reconsider the impact of their words. Gossip and slander are widespread in our society, and their detrimental effects are well documented. In Buddhism, these behaviors are seen as violations of right speech, one of the components of the Eightfold Path. Right speech is about using our words mindfully and ethically, promoting honesty, kindness, and beneficial communication. The prohibition against gossip and slander is rooted in the understanding of the power of words. Words have the ability to shape our reality, influence our emotions, and impact the lives of others. When we engage in gossip or slander, we often do so out of negative emotions such as envy, resentment, or anger. These emotions can cloud our judgment and lead us to speak untruths or exaggerate the faults of others. The harm caused by gossip and slander is twofold. Firstly, it harms the person being spoken about. False or unkind words can damage their reputation, lead to emotional distress, and strain relationships. Secondly, it harms the person speaking. Engaging in negative speech can create negative karmic consequences, leading to suffering in the future. Moreover, it perpetuates negative emotions within the speaker, contributing to their own suffering. Choosing silence in the face of gossip and slander is a powerful way to break the cycle of negativity. It is an act of non-participation, a refusal to contribute to the spread of harmful words. This not only aligns with the principles of right speech, but also protects our own karma and emotional well-being. Silence offers us a moment of pause, a chance to reflect on our intentions. When we encounter gossip or slander, we can ask ourselves why we are drawn to engage in such talk. Are we doing it out of envy, to feel superior, or to harm someone? This self-inquiry can be transformative, as it brings awareness to our own negative emotions and the suffering they cause. Furthermore, choosing silence can send a powerful message to others. When we refuse to participate in harmful speech, it conveys our disapproval of such behavior. Our silence can inspire others to think twice about the impact of their words and may even discourage them from continuing with their negative speech. In a broader sense, silence in the face of gossip and slander promotes a culture of kindness, respect, and empathy. It encourages us to look beyond the faults and shortcomings of others and focus on their positive qualities. It fosters understanding and compassion, contributing to the creation of a more harmonious and caring community. The practice of silence in the face of gossip and slander is an embodiment of the Buddhist ideals of right speech and compassion. It empowers us to use our words more mindfully, protect our own well-being, and contribute to a more positive and harmonious society. Silence in the midst of conflict. Always be silent during conflicts. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interactions, but the way we approach it can significantly impact its outcome. Buddhism encourages us to choose silence as a response to conflict, emphasizing the role of mindfulness, compassion, and understanding in conflict resolution. Conflicts often arise from differences in opinions, values, or interests. They can lead to heated arguments, hurtful words, and emotional distress. In such moments, silence can act as a cooling balm, allowing us to step back, reflect, and respond with wisdom and compassion. Silence in the midst of conflict is not about avoiding or suppressing our feelings. It's about creating a space for active listening, empathy, and finding common ground. By choosing silence, we give ourselves and others the opportunity to express themselves without fear of judgment or escalation. Moreover, silence allows us to disengage from the cycle of reactivity. When we respond to conflict with anger or defensiveness, we often escalate the situation, making it more challenging to reach a resolution. Silence breaks this cycle, providing a pause for reflection and mindful response. Conflict is an integral part of human relationships and interactions. Whether it's a disagreement with a family member, a clash with a colleague, or a dispute with a friend, conflict is a common experience. How we approach and navigate conflicts can have a significant impact on our relationships and personal well-being. In Buddhism, silence is recommended during conflicts for its potential to bring about a more mindful and compassionate resolution. Let's delve deeper into the wisdom of silence in the midst of conflict. Conflict often arises from differences in opinions, values, or interests. When these differences escalate into arguments, disputes, or even physical confrontations, they can lead to emotional distress, harm to relationships, and negative consequences for all involved parties. Buddhism recognizes that conflicts can be particularly challenging as they stir strong emotions and cloud our judgment. Silence during conflict does not mean avoidance or suppression of our feelings. Instead, it's an intentional choice to create a space for active listening, empathy, and understanding. It is a pause that allows both parties to express themselves without the fear of immediate judgment or escalation. In this space, we can acknowledge our own emotions and reactions, as well as those of the other party. Silence in conflict serves as a powerful tool for active listening, a skill that is often overlooked but vital for effective communication. When we are silent, we can fully focus on what the other person is saying. We can hear their words, understand their perspective, and empathize with their feelings. This compassionate listening can de-escalate the situation and pave the way for a more constructive dialogue. Moreover, silence offers an opportunity for self-reflection. In the heat of conflict, we may become swept up in our emotions, making it difficult to see the bigger picture or consider the long-term consequences of our actions. By choosing silence, we grant ourselves a moment to reflect on the root causes of the conflict, our own role in it, and the potential solutions. Another aspect of silence in conflict resolution is the prevention of further escalation. When we respond to conflict with anger, defensiveness, or counterattacks, we often perpetuate the cycle of negativity. This can make it increasingly difficult to find common ground or reach a resolution. Silence intervenes in this cycle, offering a pause that encourages a more measured and considerate response. In the practice of silence during conflict, we are encouraged to set aside our own need to be right or to win the argument. Instead, we prioritize the well-being of the relationship and the broader goals of mutual understanding and resolution. This is a reflection of the Buddhist principle of non-attachment, which suggests that our clinging to ego-driven desires can lead to suffering and hinder our path to enlightenment. The power of silence in conflict resolution is evident in its ability to foster empathy, compassion, and compromise. It encourages us to look beyond our immediate emotions and consider the feelings and needs of the other person. By doing so, we create an atmosphere in which both parties can express themselves, find common ground, and work together toward a solution. Silence in the midst of conflict is a practice deeply rooted in the Buddhist principles of mindfulness, compassion, and non-attachment. It is a powerful tool that allows us to navigate conflicts with greater wisdom, empathy, and understanding. By embracing this practice, we contribute to the resolution of conflicts in a way that preserves relationships, minimizes harm, and promotes harmony. Silence in times of suffering. Always be silent when you witness the suffering of others. Compassion lies at the heart of Buddhism, and this teaching emphasizes the power of silence as a means to express compassion and offer solace to those who are suffering. When we encounter the suffering of others, our immediate response may be to offer words of comfort or advice. However, Buddhism suggests that in many cases, silence is more profound and compassionate. Silence communicates our presence, our empathy, and our willingness to listen without judgment. Suffering is an inherent part of human existence. It can manifest in various forms, including physical pain, emotional distress, or the challenges of daily life. When we witness the suffering of others, we may feel compelled to offer solutions or words of encouragement. While these intentions are often well-meaning, Buddhism teaches us that silence can be more potent. Silence in times of suffering conveys the message that we are willing to share the burden of pain with others. It creates a space for the person who is suffering to express their emotions, thoughts, and experiences at their own pace. In this space of silence, they can find solace and support. Moreover, silence demonstrates our respect for the individual's autonomy and capacity to navigate their suffering. It recognizes that not all suffering can be alleviated through words or advice. Sometimes, the most significant gift we can offer is our presence and our ability to listen deeply. Witnessing the suffering of others is a common experience in our interconnected world. Whether it's a friend going through a difficult breakup, a family member facing a health crisis, or a stranger experiencing hardship, we are frequently confronted with the pain and challenges of others. In such moments, our natural inclination is to offer words of comfort or advice, to try to alleviate the suffering we perceive. Buddhism suggests that, in many cases, silence is a more profound and compassionate response. This teaching aligns with the principle of right speech, emphasizing the importance of speaking kindly and beneficially. In the face of another person's suffering, silence can be the kindest and most beneficial choice. Silence in times of suffering communicates our presence and empathy. It conveys the message that we are there to support and listen to the person who is suffering. Words, even well-intentioned ones, can sometimes fall short in expressing the depth of our compassion. In contrast, silence creates a space for the suffering individual to share their emotions, thoughts, and experiences in their own way and time. It offers a refuge where they can be heard without judgment. In this space of silence, individuals often find solace and support. They may feel less pressured to put on a brave face or to accept premature solutions. Silence allows them to express their suffering in its raw and unfiltered form. This process of sharing can be immensely therapeutic, as it validates their feelings and experiences. Furthermore, silence is a powerful means of acknowledging the autonomy of the suffering individual. It respects their capacity to navigate their pain and suffering. While well-intentioned advice or reassurance can sometimes come across as imposing, silence recognizes that each person's journey through suffering is unique. It honors their ability to find their own solutions, seek their own insights, and draw on their inner strength. Silence during times of suffering is deeply rooted in the Buddhist principle of compassion. Compassion is not merely feeling sympathy for others. It is the active desire to alleviate their suffering. In silence, we offer a different form of compassionate presence. We are there to bear witness to the suffering, to share in it, and to provide a safe and non-judgmental space for the person in need. It's essential to note that silence is not always the answer, and there may be moments when words of comfort or support are appropriate. However, Buddhism encourages us to consider silence as a valid and valuable response to the suffering of others. It reminds us that sometimes, the most significant gift we can give is our quiet presence, our empathetic listening, and our willingness to share in the pain of others. Silence in times of suffering reflects the Buddhist ideals of compassion, kindness, and deep listening. It is a practice that encourages us to be present for others, to honor their autonomy, and to offer solace in a way that transcends words. By embracing this teaching, we contribute to the well-being and healing of those who are suffering and cultivate a more compassionate and connected world. Silence in times of our own suffering. Always be silent when you are suffering. This teaching acknowledges the importance of self-compassion and self-care during difficult times. It encourages us to turn inward and embrace the healing power of silence. In our lives, we all encounter moments of pain, distress, and suffering, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a personal crisis, or a period of emotional turmoil. Suffering is an inescapable part of the human experience. During these times, our natural response may be to seek solace and support from others. However, Buddhism reminds us that there are moments when silence, particularly in our personal suffering, can be profoundly healing. Silence in times of our own suffering offers us a sanctuary for introspection and self-compassion. It provides a space where we can acknowledge our pain without judgment, offering ourselves the same kindness and empathy we might extend to others. In this silence, we can process our emotions, thoughts, and experiences, allowing for healing and growth. Moreover, silence serves as a refuge from the pressure to put on a brave face or to articulate our pain to others. While sharing our suffering with trusted friends or professionals can be essential, there are times when the depths of our pain are beyond words. In these moments, silence grants us the freedom to be with our suffering, to sit in its presence without the need to explain or justify it. In silence, we can also connect with our inner strength and wisdom. Buddhism teaches that suffering is a part of life and that it can be a source of growth and insight. In the quiet of our own hearts and minds, we may discover profound truths about ourselves and the nature of suffering. We can explore the impermanence of all things, the interconnectedness of life, and the impermanence of our own suffering. Suffering is a universal human experience. We all face moments of pain, distress, and anguish at various points in our lives. These moments can be triggered by a wide range of circumstances, including the loss of a loved one, personal crisis, emotional turmoil, or physical pain. When we suffer, our immediate impulse may be to seek solace and support from others, to share our pain, and to find comfort in their presence. Buddhism recognizes the importance of reaching out to others during times of suffering, and it emphasizes the value of community and compassion. However, this teaching also highlights the significance of silence in our own suffering, suggesting that there are moments when turning inward is equally important for healing and self-compassion. Silence in times of our own suffering provides a sanctuary for introspection and self-care. It offers a space where we can acknowledge our pain without judgment. This self-compassion is a vital component of emotional healing. When we silence the inner critic and allow ourselves to experience our suffering, we create the conditions for processing and growth. Silence offers a refuge from the pressure to articulate our pain to others. While sharing our suffering can be therapeutic, there are moments when our pain is too deep or too complex to put into words. Silence allows us to be with our suffering without the need to explain, justify, or make sense of it for others. This experience can be liberating, as it grants us the freedom to simply be with our pain, to sit in its presence, and to accept it as a part of our current reality. In silence, we can also connect with our inner strength and wisdom. Buddhism teaches that suffering is a part of life, and it can serve as a source of growth and insight. When we turn inward during our own suffering, we may discover profound truths about ourselves and the nature of suffering. We can explore the impermanence of all things, recognizing that suffering, like all experiences, is transient. We can also come to understand the interconnectedness of life, realizing that our suffering is not isolated, but part of the human condition. This understanding can be a source of comfort and wisdom. Silence in times of our own suffering is a practice deeply rooted in self-compassion, self-care, and self-discovery. It allows us to honor our pain without judgment, to find refuge from the pressure to explain, and to connect with our inner strength and wisdom. By embracing this teaching, we create the conditions for healing and personal growth. The wisdom of Buddhism offers us a profound understanding of the transformative power of silence in 5 crucial situations: anger, gossip and slander, conflict, witnessing the suffering of others, and our own suffering. In these moments, silence serves as a source of mindfulness, compassion, and personal growth. Silence is not about being passive or indifferent. It is a deliberate and intentional choice to create space, to listen, to reflect, and to respond with wisdom and empathy. It is a practice that aligns with the principles of right speech, compassion, and non-attachment, as outlined in the Eightfold Path. By always being silent in these 5 situations, we empower ourselves to transform negative emotions, nurture compassion, and foster understanding. We protect our relationships, minimize harm, and contribute to a more harmonious and connected world. We learn to be present, to listen deeply, and to embrace the healing power of silence in our own lives and the lives of others. As we integrate these teachings into our daily existence, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and personal transformation. We move closer to the ideals of Buddhism, which seek to alleviate suffering, cultivate mindfulness, and awaken to the interconnectedness of all beings. In doing so, we not only find solutions to life's problems, but also uncover a path to inner peace and enlightenment. Silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light. If our minds are crowded with words and thoughts, there is no space for us. In the profound silence of these 5 situations, we discover the space we need to live more mindfully, more compassionately, and more authentically.
Imagine living a life where nothing can bother your calmness. You stay peaceful even when people criticize you, when problems come your way, or when everything around you seems chaotic. How amazing would it be to go through life with such steady calmness? Today, we're going to learn about 10 powerful Buddhist teachings that can help you achieve this strong and peaceful state of mind. As Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." These teachings aren't just old ideas. They are practical tips you can use right now to create a strong, peaceful place inside yourself. Whether you're dealing with stress, negativity, or feeling unsure, these teachings show you how to stay strong and calm. So, if you're ready to take charge of your inner peace and make sure nothing can disturb it, keep listening, because this could be the wisdom you've been looking for. 1. Firm purposes. Building resilience, or the ability to stay strong in tough times, starts with having firm purposes. This means knowing exactly what you want in life and what is important to you. When your goals and values are clear, they act like a bright star guiding you, helping you stay focused and calm even when things get hard. Imagine you're on a long journey, and your clear goals are like a map that shows you the way. This map gives you the strength to keep going, no matter how difficult the road gets, because you know exactly what you're working towards and why it matters so much. Buddha once said, "Your work is to discover your work, and then, with all your heart, to give yourself to it." This means that each of us has something important to do in life, and once we figure out what that is, we should put our whole heart into it. Every morning, take a moment to think about your firm purposes. Remind yourself of the things that are important to you and the goals you want to achieve. This simple habit helps you stay committed and focused, no matter what challenges you face. By keeping your purposes clear and reminding yourself of them regularly, you build a strong foundation inside yourself. This foundation gives you the power to face any challenge with confidence, because you know what you are fighting for. Even when life gets tough and throws obstacles in your way, your firm purposes will help you stay on track, just like a sturdy ship that stays on course through a stormy sea. This inner strength and clarity will guide you through the ups and downs of life, helping you stay resilient and grounded. So remember to start each day by thinking about your firm purposes. Let them be your guide, your motivation, and your source of strength. With this practice, you will be better prepared to handle whatever life throws your way, and nothing will be able to shake your resolve. 2. Become untouchable. Imagine having the power to remain calm and peaceful no matter what others say or do. Buddhism teaches that a lot of our suffering comes from how we react to people and situations, not from the things themselves. The key idea here is that no one can hurt you without your consent. This means that while you can't control what happens around you, you can control how you respond to it. When you understand this, you take control of your emotions, and nothing that others do can hurt you unless you allow it to. Think about this. When someone says something mean or tries to upset you, you have a choice. You can let their words affect you, making you feel sad or angry, or you can choose not to let it bother you. By deciding not to take negative words or actions personally, you become untouchable. This doesn't mean that bad things won't happen or that people won't say hurtful things, but it does mean that these things won't disturb your inner peace. You remain calm and centered, no matter what. Buddha wisely said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." This means that when you get angry, it's not the situation that hurts you, it's your anger itself that causes pain. When you get mad, you might say or do things you regret, and that can lead to more trouble. But if you choose not to get angry, you protect yourself from this kind of suffering. So, how can you become untouchable? The next time someone tries to upset you, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and remember that you are in control of how you feel. You don't have to let their words or actions affect your peace of mind. Instead, choose to stay calm and let the negativity pass by without taking it to heart. It's like putting up a shield around yourself, one that keeps your peace safe from harm. By practicing this regularly, you will find that over time, fewer things bother you. You will become stronger inside, and the actions or words of others won't have the power to disturb your peace. This doesn't mean you ignore problems or pretend they don't exist. It means you handle them with a clear and calm mind, making better decisions and staying true to yourself. Becoming untouchable is not about being cold or distant. It's about protecting your peace and choosing your emotional responses wisely. When you master this, you can move through life with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, your inner calm is safe. So, remember, your peace is precious, and you have the power to protect it. Choose to be untouchable, and nothing will shake your inner calm. 3. Insult and offense. Throughout life, you will face moments where people might insult you or act in an offensive way. It can be hurtful, but Buddhism teaches us to see these moments as chances to practice patience and self-control. Instead of reacting quickly with anger or feeling hurt, try to understand that these insults often say more about the other person's struggles than they do about your own worth. When someone insults you, it's easy to feel like their words are an attack on who you are. But if you pause and think about it, you'll realize that the insult is more about the other person's feelings and problems. Maybe they are angry, sad, or insecure, and they are taking it out on you. When you understand this, it becomes easier not to take the insult personally. You can choose not to let it affect how you feel about yourself. Buddha taught, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. This means that responding to hate or anger with more hate or anger only makes things worse. Instead, responding with calmness, understanding, and even kindness can break the cycle of negativity. When someone insults you, responding with love and patience not only helps you stay peaceful, but can also help the other person see things differently. So, the next time you encounter an insult, try to take a deep breath and remind yourself that you have the power to choose your response. You don't have to let the insult hurt you. By not reacting with anger or taking offense, you protect your peace of mind. This way, you prevent unnecessary suffering that comes from holding on to hurt feelings. When you choose not to take offense, you are practicing a powerful form of self-control. You are deciding that your peace is more important than someone else's negative words. This doesn't mean that you ignore bad behavior or pretend it doesn't bother you. It means that you handle it in a way that keeps you strong and calm inside. Over time, you will find that insults bother you less and less. You will be able to stay peaceful even in the face of rudeness or offensive behavior. This is a powerful skill to have, and it will help you maintain your inner peace no matter what others say or do. Remember, you can't control what others say, but you can control how you respond. Choose to respond with calmness and understanding, and you'll keep your inner peace intact. 4. If someone speaks ill of you. It's natural to feel hurt or upset when someone speaks badly about you. Our first reaction might be to feel defensive or angry, but Buddhism teaches us to handle these situations with calmness and kindness. When someone speaks ill of you, it's important to understand that their words are often more about their own problems or insecurities than about who you really are. Their negative words don't define you, and you don't have to let them affect your peace of mind. Think of it this way. When someone talks badly about you, they might be struggling with something inside themselves, like jealousy, anger, or sadness. They might be trying to bring you down because they feel bad about themselves. When you realize this, it becomes easier to stay calm and not take their words to heart. Their negativity doesn't have to change how you see yourself or how you feel. Buddha wisely said, "Speak or act with an impure mind, and trouble will follow you." This means that when people speak or act out of anger, jealousy, or other negative emotions, it often leads to more problems, not just for others, but for themselves too. So when you hear someone speaking badly about you, remember that their words might bring trouble to them, but you don't have to let them bring trouble to you. Instead of getting upset, focus on staying centered and true to your values. Your actions and the way you live your life are far more powerful than any negative words others might say. If you continue to act with kindness, honesty, and integrity, those who know you will see the truth about your character, no matter what others say. It's also helpful to practice compassion in these situations. Try to understand that the person speaking ill of you might be going through something difficult. By responding with compassion instead of anger, you can maintain your inner peace and even help the other person see things differently. This doesn't mean you have to accept or agree with what they say, but it does mean you choose not to let their negativity disturb your peace. When you encounter negative talk, let your actions speak louder than words. Keep focusing on what's important to you, your values, your goals, and the way you treat others. By doing this, you show that you are confident in who you are and that other people's opinions don't define you. Over time, you'll find that you are less and less affected by what others say, and your peace of mind will grow stronger. In summary, when others speak ill of you, stay calm, focus on your values, and let your actions reflect who you truly are. This way, you protect your peace and integrity, no matter what others might say. 5. Guarding your mind. Think of your mind as a garden, where the things you focus on are like seeds that can grow into big plants. Just like a gardener chooses what seeds to plant and takes care of them, you need to be careful about what thoughts and emotions you allow to grow in your mind. Guarding your mind means being mindful of what you think about and what influences you let in. This is important because the thoughts and beliefs you nurture will shape how you see the world and how you feel inside. Buddhism teaches that our thoughts have a big impact on our lives. If you fill your mind with negative thoughts, like fear, doubt, or anger, those thoughts will make everything around you seem worse than it really is. This can lead to feeling stressed, anxious, and unhappy. On the other hand, if you focus on positive and empowering thoughts, you will feel more peaceful, happy, and strong, even when life gets tough. Guarding your mind means choosing to focus on thoughts that lift you up and make you feel good about yourself and your life. It's not about pretending that negative thoughts don't exist or trying to push them away. Instead, it's about recognizing when those negative thoughts come up and deciding not to let them control you. You can acknowledge them and then let them go rather than letting them take over your mind. Imagine a gardener who wants to grow beautiful flowers or healthy vegetables. They have to make sure that weeds don't take over the garden, because weeds can choke the plants and stop them from growing. In the same way, you need to weed out negative or harmful thoughts so that positive thoughts can flourish in your mind. This helps you create a mental environment where you feel stronger, more resilient, and more at peace. To guard your mind, start by paying attention to what you think about throughout the day. When you notice negative thoughts creeping in, remind yourself that you have the power to choose what you focus on. Instead of letting those thoughts grow, gently shift your focus to something positive or constructive. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate a mind that is full of thoughts that support your well-being and happiness. In summary, guarding your mind is about being mindful of what you allow to take root in your mental garden. By choosing to focus on positive, empowering thoughts and letting go of those that drag you down, you create a strong, peaceful inner world that helps you face life's challenges with confidence and calmness. One effective way to guard your mind is through mindfulness meditation. This practice helps you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to observe them without judgment. By regularly practicing mindfulness, you develop the ability to notice when negative or unhelpful thoughts arise and gently guide your mind back to a more positive and focused state. Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This highlights the importance of keeping your mind clear, focused, and positive. By guarding your mind against negativity and cultivating positive, empowering thoughts, you protect your inner peace and build the resilience needed to face life's challenges with grace and confidence. 6. Overcoming fear and shame. Fear and shame are two very strong emotions that can stop us from living our best lives. These feelings often come from deep-seated beliefs and past experiences, and they can create invisible walls that hold us back from going after our dreams, building meaningful relationships, and being our true selves. In Buddhism, overcoming fear and shame is seen as a key part of finding inner peace and becoming strong inside. Fear is usually a reaction to the unknown or the possibility of losing something important. For example, we might fear failing at something new, being rejected by others, or even succeeding and not knowing how to handle it. This fear can keep us stuck, making us afraid to try new things or take risks that could help us grow. Shame is a painful feeling of being flawed or not good enough. It often comes from a fear of being judged by others or not living up to what society expects of us. Shame can make us feel small and unworthy, causing us to avoid situations where we might be criticized or rejected. This feeling can be so strong that it stops us from going after what we really want in life. Both fear and shame can be paralyzing, meaning they can make us feel stuck and unable to move forward. They can cause us to miss out on opportunities that could lead to growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Instead of facing challenges head-on, we might shrink back and play it safe, which can keep us from reaching our full potential. Buddhism teaches that to overcome fear and shame, we need to confront these emotions directly. This means not running away from them or trying to push them down, but instead looking at them closely and understanding where they come from. When we do this, we can begin to see that these feelings are often based on old beliefs or past experiences that no longer serve us. By acknowledging our fear and shame, we take the first step toward letting go of their power over us. We can start to replace these negative emotions with more positive ones, like courage and self-acceptance. This doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, we can learn to face our fears and let go of our shame, allowing us to live more fully and authentically. In summary, fear and shame are powerful emotions that can hold us back from living our fullest lives. Buddhism teaches that by facing these emotions directly, we can overcome them and achieve greater inner peace and resilience. When we confront our fears and let go of our shame, we free ourselves to pursue our goals, form meaningful relationships, and express our true selves. The first step is to recognize that fear and shame are often based on mental constructs. stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of. These stories are not fixed truths. They can be questioned, challenged, and ultimately changed. Mindfulness is a powerful tool in this process. By practicing mindfulness, you can observe your fears and feelings of shame without being overwhelmed by them. This detached observation allows you to see these emotions for what they are, temporary and often exaggerated responses to perceived threats. When you realize that fear and shame are not as powerful as they seem, you begin to loosen their grip on your life. Another important aspect of overcoming fear and shame is cultivating self-compassion. Buddhism encourages us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a friend. When you face fear or shame, instead of harshly judging yourself, try to respond with compassion and patience. This gentle approach helps dissolve the negative energy associated with these emotions, making it easier to move past them. Buddha said, "Even death is not to be feared by one who has lived wisely." This quote reminds us that when we live in alignment with our true values and purpose, there is little to fear and no reason to feel shame. By understanding the nature of these emotions and learning to transcend them, you can free yourself from their limitations and live with greater courage, confidence, and peace. Overcoming fear and shame is not about becoming fearless, but about acknowledging these emotions, understanding their origins, and choosing to rise above them. It's about reclaiming your power and not allowing these feelings to dictate your actions or diminish your sense of self-worth. By doing so, you can approach life's challenges with a resilient and open heart, unburdened by the weight of fear and shame. 7. Transform everyone into a relentless teacher. In the journey of life, we come across many different kinds of people. Some who inspire us, some who challenge us, and others who may really test our patience. Buddhism offers a unique way of looking at these encounters. Every person we meet can be seen as a teacher, providing important lessons that help us grow both spiritually and personally. This idea of viewing everyone as a relentless teacher can change how we see and react to the people around us, especially those who frustrate us or make us feel insecure. It might seem hard at first to think of someone who criticizes you or causes you pain as a teacher. When someone makes us feel bad, our natural reaction might be to get upset or angry. However, Buddhism teaches that it is during these tough moments that we have the most chances to grow. Instead of just feeling hurt or angry, try to shift your perspective by asking yourself, what can I learn from this person? Or, how is this situation helping me become a better version of myself? When you start thinking this way, every encounter becomes a chance to learn and improve. One of the most important lessons we can learn from challenging interactions is patience. Patience is a key virtue in Buddhism and is incredibly valuable in maintaining your inner peace. When someone annoys or angers you, it's easy to react with frustration or even anger. But instead, if you see this as an opportunity to practice patience, you can start to change how you respond. The more you practice patience, the stronger it becomes. Over time, you'll find that you don't react as quickly or as strongly to things that once bothered you. Patience allows you to stay calm and composed, even when situations are tough. It helps you keep your inner peace intact, no matter what's happening around you. By practicing patience, you are not only learning to deal with difficult people or situations more gracefully, but you are also growing stronger inside. You become less reactive, meaning you don't get upset as easily, and you can handle challenges with more grace and wisdom. This idea of seeing everyone as a teacher also encourages you to look at your own behavior and reactions more closely. When someone triggers a negative emotion in you, instead of blaming them, ask yourself why you're feeling that way. What does this reaction say about you, and how can you use this experience to grow? By doing this, you learn more about yourself and start to see areas where you can improve. In summary, Buddhism teaches that every person you meet in life, whether they uplift you or challenge you, can be viewed as a teacher. By seeing others in this way, especially those who frustrate or anger you, you can turn every interaction into a learning experience. This perspective helps you cultivate patience, maintain inner peace, and grow into a better version of yourself. The more you practice this, the more resilient and composed you will become, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and calmness. Another important lesson you can learn from others is compassion. When someone acts in a way that hurts or offends you, it's often a reflection of their own suffering or inner turmoil. Instead of taking their actions personally, try to understand the pain or insecurity that might be driving their behavior. This shift in perspective can help you respond with empathy rather than defensiveness, deepening your compassion for others and for yourself. Viewing others as teachers encourages humility. It reminds you that you don't have all the answers and that there is always something new to learn, even from those who may seem less experienced or knowledgeable. This mindset keeps you open to growth and helps you avoid the pitfalls of arrogance or self-righteousness. Every person you meet, no matter their background or behavior, has something valuable to teach you, whether it's patience, compassion, resilience, or even self-awareness. When you encounter someone who challenges you, try to observe your own reactions closely. What emotions arise within you? What thoughts go through your mind? By analyzing your responses, you gain insight into your own triggers and patterns of behavior. This self-awareness is a crucial step in personal development, helping you to better understand yourself and, in turn, respond more effectively in future interactions. Buddha's teachings often emphasize the importance of seeing the interconnectedness of all beings. When you view everyone as a teacher, you are acknowledging this interconnectedness. You recognize that your interactions with others are not random or meaningless, but are part of a greater tapestry of life that is continuously guiding you toward greater wisdom and enlightenment. Buddha said, "In the end, these things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you let go?" By viewing others as relentless teachers, you engage deeply with these questions. You learn to love more fully by developing compassion for others, to live more fully by embracing each interaction as a growth opportunity, and to let go more deeply by releasing the need to control or judge others. It's also important to note that transforming everyone into a relentless teacher doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior or staying in toxic situations. Rather, it means finding the lesson in the experience, learning from it, and then choosing how to respond in a way that is healthy and aligned with your values. Sometimes the lesson might be setting boundaries or recognizing when it's time to walk away from a situation that no longer serves your well-being. By adopting the mindset that everyone you encounter is a teacher, you empower yourself to find value in every experience, even those that are difficult or painful. You develop a resilient attitude that allows you to grow continually, using each interaction as a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and inner peace. This approach not only enriches your personal journey, but also fosters a deeper connection to the people around you as you come to appreciate the lessons they bring into your life. This Buddhist principle encourages you to embrace life with an open heart and mind, ready to learn and grow from every person you meet. Whether they bring joy or challenge, each person has something to teach you, and by recognizing this, you transform your life into a continuous, enriching learning experience. 8. Forge an unshakable ethical code. One of the most important teachings in Buddhism is the development of a strong ethical code, a set of moral principles that guide your actions, decisions, and how you interact with others. This ethical code acts like a compass, helping you navigate through life's challenges and uncertainties by giving you a clear sense of what is right and wrong. When this ethical code is firmly in place, it gives you stability and inner strength, allowing you to stay true to your values even when you face pressure or temptations from the outside world. In Buddhism, this ethical code is often based on the 5 precepts, which are like promises you make to yourself to live a moral and compassionate life. These precepts are: avoiding harm to living beings, not taking what is not given, refraining from sexual misconduct, speaking truthfully, and avoiding intoxicants that cloud your mind. These are not strict rules forced upon you by others, but rather they are guidelines that come from a deep understanding of how all life is connected and the wish to live in a way that causes the least harm and the most good. The first precept, avoiding harm to living beings, encourages kindness and compassion. It reminds us to think carefully about our actions and how they affect others, including animals and the environment. The second precept, not taking what is not given, is about respecting the rights and property of others. It teaches us to be honest and fair in all our dealings. The third precept, refraining from sexual misconduct, is about treating others with respect and not causing harm through our relationships. This includes being faithful and considerate, understanding that our actions can have a big impact on others' lives. The fourth precept, speaking truthfully, encourages us to be honest and trustworthy. It's about using our words to build others up rather than tear them down. The fifth precept, avoiding intoxicants that cloud the mind, is about keeping our minds clear and sharp so that we can make wise decisions. It reminds us that our actions are often guided by our thoughts, and if our thoughts are clouded, our actions may not be in line with our ethical code. By following these precepts, you create a strong ethical foundation that helps you make decisions that are not only good for you, but also for those around you. This ethical code gives you a sense of purpose and direction, helping you stay true to your values no matter what challenges you face. It also helps you develop inner strength, knowing that you are living in a way that is consistent with your beliefs, and that contributes to the well-being of others. In summary, the cultivation of an unshakable ethical code in Buddhism provides a clear guide for living a moral and compassionate life. Rooted in the 5 precepts, this code helps you navigate life's challenges with wisdom and integrity, ensuring that your actions are always in harmony with your values. When you forge an unshakable ethical code, you create a solid foundation for your life. This foundation acts as a source of security and confidence, knowing that your actions are aligned with your deepest values and beliefs. An ethical code is like the roots of a tree. When they run deep, the tree can withstand storms without toppling over. Similarly, a strong ethical foundation helps you weather life's challenges without losing your sense of self or compromising your integrity. Living by a strong ethical code also fosters trust and respect in your relationships. When others see that you consistently act with integrity and honor, they are more likely to trust you and value your presence in their lives. This trust is not just important in personal relationships, but is also crucial in professional settings, where ethical behavior can significantly impact your reputation and success. An unshakable ethical code serves as a guide when you face moral dilemmas or difficult decisions. In moments of uncertainty, your ethical principles provide clarity, helping you navigate complex situations with wisdom and compassion. For instance, if you are faced with a decision that could benefit you personally but harm others, your ethical code will help you choose the path that aligns with your values, even if it requires sacrifice or difficult choices. Buddhism teaches that true happiness and peace come from living in harmony with ethical principles. When you act in ways that are consistent with your values, you experience a sense of inner peace and contentment, knowing that you are living authentically and honorably. Buddhism teaches that true happiness and peace come from living in harmony with ethical principles. When you act in ways that are consistent with your values, you experience a sense of inner peace and contentment, knowing that you are living authentically and honorably. This inner peace is not easily shaken by external circumstances because it is rooted in a deep commitment to your ethical principles. An essential aspect of forging an unshakable ethical code is the practice of self-reflection. Regularly taking time to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and motivations helps you stay aligned with your ethical code. It allows you to identify areas where you may have strayed from your principles and to make necessary adjustments. This continuous process of reflection and adjustment strengthens your ethical foundation over time, making it increasingly resilient. In addition to self-reflection, it is also important to seek out wisdom and guidance from spiritual teachings, mentors, and like-minded individuals who share your commitment to ethical living. Engaging with a community that values ethical principles can reinforce your own commitment and provide support when you face challenges to your integrity. Buddha emphasized the importance of living a virtuous life, stating, "The virtuous man delights in this world, and he delights in the next." This quote underscores the idea that living according to ethical principles brings not only immediate satisfaction and peace, but also long-term fulfillment and spiritual growth. Another critical element of an unshakable ethical code is the understanding that ethical living is not about perfection, but about striving to do the right thing, even in difficult circumstances. It's about making the best possible choices in each moment, based on your understanding and awareness at the time. Mistakes will inevitably happen, but what matters is your commitment to learn from them and to continue growing in your ethical understanding and practice. An unshakable ethical code also helps you maintain your integrity in the face of external pressures, such as societal expectations, peer influence, or material temptations. In a world where it is often easier to take shortcuts or compromise on values for personal gain, having a strong ethical foundation enables you to stand firm in your convictions. This steadfastness not only protects your inner peace, but also sets an example for others, inspiring them to live with integrity as well. 9. Living according to nature. In Buddhism, the concept of living according to nature is deeply intertwined with the idea of harmony. Harmony within oneself, with others, and with the world around us. This principle emphasizes the importance of aligning your life with the natural order of things, understanding that there is a rhythm and flow to the universe that, when respected, leads to peace and contentment. By living according to nature, you learn to accept and embrace the way things are, rather than constantly struggling against the current of life. At its core, living according to nature means recognizing and honoring the interconnectedness of all life. Everything in the universe is part of a vast, interconnected web, where each element plays a role in maintaining balance. When you live in harmony with this natural order, you are better able to flow with life's changes, rather than resisting them. This doesn't mean passive acceptance of everything that happens, but rather an understanding that there is wisdom in the natural flow of events, and that peace comes from aligning with this flow, rather than fighting against it. One of the key aspects of living according to nature is acceptance. Nature teaches us that everything is impermanent and constantly changing. The seasons change, the tides ebb and flow, and life itself is a cycle of birth, growth, decay, and rebirth. By accepting the impermanent nature of all things, you can cultivate a mindset of openness and flexibility, allowing you to adapt to life's changes with grace and ease. This acceptance reduces stress and anxiety because you stop clinging to things that are inevitably going to change or pass away. For instance, think about how nature responds to challenges. A tree does not resist the wind. It bends and sways, adapting to the forces around it. Similarly, when you face challenges in life, living according to nature means being adaptable, bending without breaking, and finding ways to grow even in adverse conditions. This resilience, inspired by the natural world, allows you to navigate difficulties without losing your balance or sense of self. Living according to nature also involves recognizing and respecting the natural limits of your body, mind, and environment. In our modern world, there is often pressure to push beyond these limits, to work longer hours, achieve more, and constantly strive for progress. However, this relentless pursuit can lead to burnout, stress, and a disconnect from the natural rhythms of life. Buddhism encourages you to live in a way that honors your natural limits, recognizing that rest, reflection, and moderation are essential for maintaining balance and well-being. Buddha's teachings emphasize the importance of simplicity and contentment as part of living according to nature. He taught that true happiness does not come from external possessions or achievements, but from a state of inner peace and contentment with what is. By simplifying your life and focusing on what truly matters, you can free yourself from the constant desire for more and find joy in the present moment. This simplicity aligns with the natural world, where everything exists in a state of balance and sufficiency. Another important aspect of living according to nature is mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows you to fully experience and appreciate the beauty and wisdom of the natural world. Mindfulness helps you to slow down and notice the subtle rhythms of life, such as the changing seasons, the cycles of the moon, or the simple act of breathing. This awareness deepens your connection to nature and fosters a sense of peace and belonging. Living in harmony with nature also means practicing compassion and respect for all living beings. Recognizing that all life is interconnected encourages you to act in ways that protect and nurture the environment. This might involve making more sustainable choices, reducing your consumption, or finding ways to give back to the natural world. By living in a way that supports the health and balance of the planet, you contribute to the well-being of all beings and create a more harmonious world. Buddha said, "Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again." This quote highlights the importance of continual growth and renewal, a principle deeply rooted in the natural world. Just as nature is constantly evolving, you too are encouraged to let go of old habits, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve you, making way for new growth and opportunities. This process of shedding and renewal is essential for personal development and spiritual growth, allowing you to live more fully and authentically. In practical terms, living according to nature might mean spending more time outdoors, reconnecting with the natural world, and paying attention to the lessons it offers. 10. Weaponize gratitude. Cultivate relentless positivity. Gratitude is one of the most powerful and transformative principles in Buddhism, capable of changing even the most difficult situations into opportunities for personal growth and inner peace. The idea of weaponizing gratitude might sound unusual, but it highlights how gratitude can be used as a strong tool to combat negativity, fear, and suffering. By developing a habit of relentless positivity through gratitude, you can create a mindset that is resilient, joyful, and unshakable, no matter what challenges you face in life. At its core, gratitude is about recognizing and appreciating the good things in your life. It helps you shift your focus from what you don't have to what you do have, fostering a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. This change in perspective is incredibly powerful. because it alters how you see and respond to the world around you. When you start to focus on the positives, you become better equipped to handle challenges and setbacks. Instead of being overwhelmed by difficulties, you begin to see the silver lining in every situation, which strengthens your ability to cope with life's ups and downs. In Buddhism, gratitude is more than just saying thank you when things are going well. It's about cultivating a constant attitude of thankfulness, even when life is difficult. This type of relentless positivity allows you to maintain a sense of inner peace and contentment, regardless of what is happening around you. When you weaponize gratitude, you use it as a shield against negative emotions and thoughts that can easily take over during tough times. Gratitude becomes a tool that helps you stay centered and positive, no matter what life throws your way. One of the most profound effects of practicing gratitude is its ability to shift your focus from what is wrong to what is right. In moments of stress or hardship, it's easy to become fixated on the negative aspects of your situation. However, by consciously practicing gratitude, you train your mind to look for and focus on the positive, even in the midst of adversity. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending they don't exist, but rather acknowledging them while also recognizing the good that still surrounds you. For example, imagine you're going through a difficult time at work. It's easy to focus on the stress, the long hours, or the conflicts with colleagues. But by practicing gratitude, you can shift your focus to the aspects of your job that you appreciate. Perhaps it's the opportunity to learn new skills, the support of a friendly coworker, or even the fact that you have a job when many others may not. This shift in focus can help you approach your work with a more positive mindset, making it easier to cope with the challenges you face. Moreover, gratitude helps you build stronger relationships with others. When you regularly express appreciation for the people in your life, it strengthens your connections and fosters a sense of mutual respect and kindness. This not only improves your relationships, but also creates a supportive environment that can help you through tough times. By being grateful for the love, friendship and support you receive, you reinforce those positive bonds, making your social circle a source of strength rather than stress. Gratitude also has a powerful impact on your overall well-being. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude tend to be happier, less stressed, and more satisfied with their lives. This is because gratitude shifts your focus away from what's missing in your life to what's already present, helping you feel more content and fulfilled. When you make gratitude a daily practice, you start to notice more and more things to be thankful for, creating a positive cycle that enhances your mental and emotional health. In Buddhism, this practice of gratitude is deeply connected to mindfulness, the act of being fully present in the moment. When you are mindful, you become more aware of the small blessings that might otherwise go unnoticed, like the warmth of the sun, the beauty of a flower, or the kindness of a stranger. By cultivating mindfulness and gratitude together, you can create a powerful sense of peace and joy that persists even in difficult times. In conclusion, gratitude is a transformative principle in Buddhism that has the power to turn challenges into opportunities for growth. By cultivating a relentless attitude of gratitude, you can create a mindset that is resilient, joyful, and unshakable. Gratitude helps you shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, strengthens your relationships, and enhances your overall well-being. When you use gratitude as a tool to combat negativity, fear, and suffering, you empower yourself to remain positive and centered, no matter what life throws your way. This practice of gratitude is not just about finding the good in easy times, but about developing a deep, unwavering appreciation for life, even when things are tough. If you are going through a difficult period, you might feel overwhelmed by the challenges you face. But by practicing gratitude, you can find things to be thankful for, such as the support of loved ones, the lessons you're learning, or the simple fact that you have the strength to persevere. This shift in focus not only reduces stress, but also boosts your resilience, enabling you to handle challenges more effectively. Buddhism also teaches that gratitude helps you to appreciate the present moment. Often we get caught up in worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, which can lead to feelings of anxiety or regret. Gratitude brings you back to the here and now, encouraging you to savor the present and find joy in the small things, whether it's the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite food, or the smile of a loved one. Gratitude helps you to fully experience and appreciate life's simple pleasures. Buddha said, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little." This quote underscores the importance of finding something to be thankful for in every situation, no matter how small. It's about recognizing that every day, every moment offers something to be grateful for, and that this gratitude is the key to living a happy and fulfilled life. Another powerful aspect of weaponizing gratitude is its ability to foster positivity in your relationships. When you express gratitude to others, you strengthen your connections and build mutual respect and appreciation. This creates a positive feedback loop where acts of kindness and gratitude reinforce each other, leading to stronger, more supportive relationships. In turn, these positive relationships become a source of strength and comfort, helping you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Gratitude also has a profound impact on your mental and physical health. Numerous studies have shown that practicing gratitude regularly can reduce stress, improve sleep, and boost overall well-being. This is because gratitude helps to regulate your emotions, making you less susceptible to negative feelings such as anger, envy, or resentment. By focusing on what you are thankful for, you create a positive emotional state that supports both your mental and physical health. To cultivate relentless positivity through gratitude, it's important to make it a daily practice. One effective way to do this is by keeping a gratitude journal, where you write down 3 things you are grateful for each day. This simple habit can have a powerful impact on your mindset, helping you to consistently focus on the positive aspects of your life. Over time, this practice trains your brain to naturally look for the good in every situation, making gratitude an integral part of your daily life. In addition to journaling, you can practice gratitude by expressing it verbally to others. Take the time to thank the people in your life for the ways they contribute to your happiness and well-being. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your own sense of gratitude. Whether it's a heartfelt thank you to a friend, a note of appreciation to a colleague, or simply acknowledging someone's kindness, these small acts of gratitude can have a big impact on your overall outlook. Weaponizing gratitude means applying it even in the face of adversity. When you encounter challenges, consciously look for the lessons or opportunities they present. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or, how can this experience help me grow? By framing difficulties in this way, you transform them from obstacles into opportunities for growth, further reinforcing your resilience and positivity. Gratitude is not just a passive feeling, but an active practice that has the power to transform your life. By weaponizing gratitude, using it as a tool to combat negativity and foster relentless positivity, you can create a mindset that is resilient, joyful, and unshakable. This practice not only enhances your own well-being, but also positively impacts those around you, creating a ripple effect of positivity and kindness. Living with gratitude allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, finding peace and contentment in every moment. It is a powerful reminder that no matter what challenges you face, there is always something to be thankful for, and that this gratitude is the key to living a fulfilled and resilient life. By cultivating gratitude every day, you build a strong foundation of positivity that can carry you through even the toughest of times, helping you to remain centered, strong, and joyful in all circumstances. By embracing these 10 Buddhist principles in your daily life, you can build a strong inner resilience that helps you face life's challenges with grace and strength. The secret to staying calm and unaffected by what happens around you lies in nurturing your inner world. As you practice firm purposes, non-attachment, mindfulness, and the other principles we've covered, you'll discover that the ups and downs of life no longer have the power to shake your peace of mind. With consistent practice, you'll find yourself navigating life with greater ease and calmness. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on how to live a peaceful and resilient life through the wisdom of Buddhism. Until next time, stay mindful and stay strong. Imagine someone hurling insults at you, their words sharp and cutting like knives. Your heart races, your mind fills with anger, and every instinct urges you to fight back. But instead, visualize that reaction completely differently. You, stoic, swaying like a lighthouse beneath the storm, a ledge, their words ricocheting off you like stones against your island. Not anger nor hurt, but peace that is untouched. How powerful would that feel? In the words of the great Buddha, to hold on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Today, we're going to explore how to let go of that poison, maintain your calm, and rise above negativity by utilizing profound Buddhist teachings. 1. Understand that insults reflect the insulter. First of all, it is a golden rule to bear in mind that insults reveal the personality of the insulter, not yours. Statements that might vex you come but herald things about their worlds than being relevant to you. The pain, insecurity, or frustration of a person can be projected on others when insulting them. Let's take an example. A person who is struggling with the low confidence might insult others to get the temporary feeling of being powerful. Verifying this fact makes it easier for you to ignore their words and see the person's negativity as a sign of their difficulties, not your lack of value. By perceiving someone's insults in this way, you form an invisible wall that cushions you from absorbing their negativity. There was a saying by Buddha, "What we think, we become." All that we are comes from our thoughts. We make the world with our thoughts. This definitely means that their words show their disturbed thoughts, not the real world that you are living. Therefore, instead of allowing the insults to mess with your self-esteem, think of them to be indicative of the insulter's inner turmoil. This approach helps you deal with stress and maintains your peace no matter the words someone hurls at you. Second, master the art of detachment. Observe, don't absorb. Detachment is seeing things that happen as an observer without getting emotional about them. In Buddhism, this refers to stopping to type and viewing your thoughts and feelings as something external to you. When the other person insults you, look at it as something that is happening outside you. Think of yourself watching the movie, overriding the intuition of taking the insult personally. Hence now you can tell the two apart, the insult and your own reaction, thus being able to stay cool. Buddha's teaching was one of the compelling purposes. The Buddha taught that holding on equals suffering. By doing so, you avoid the instinctual response to react and thus protect your own peace. This will be the platform which is helpful to you to stay cool, concentrated, and the one who is other people's talk will not bother you. Learn and know the fact that you are not a person of what others say. Still, you're an observer of their changing negativity, and you have the power to choose whether to react or not. 3. Silence is strength. Avoid becoming involved in the conflict. One of your best defenses against insults may be silence. By being silent, you may keep control of the situation rather than reacting rashly. Back and forth arguments tend to increase negativity, intensify the disagreement, and sap your vitality. By keeping quiet, you show that you are not easily agitated and that your tranquility is independent of other people's actions. Being silent is a deliberate decision to avoid adding fuel to the fire, not a sign of weakness or passivity. According to the Buddha, one word that brings peace is better than 1,000 empty ones. Your silence can be that word. It disarms the insulter and protects your inner calm, sending a powerful message. You refuse to be dragged into negativity. By choosing not to engage, you rise above the conflict, showing that your self-control is stronger than any insult thrown your way. 4. Reframe the insult. Turn criticism into opportunity. One of the most empowering ways to handle insults is to reframe them, transforming criticism into a chance for growth. Instead of viewing insults as personal attacks, try seeing them as feedback that can provide valuable insights, even if the delivery is harsh or unjust. In Buddhism, every experience, whether positive or negative, is seen as an opportunity to learn and evolve. When confronted with an insult, ask yourself, is there any truth, however small, that I can use to improve myself? This changes your thinking from being a victim to the one who sees all these experiences as stepping stones for self-development. Let's take an example. If someone tells you you're lazy, instead of becoming defensive or angry, ask yourself if there's a realm in your life where you're missing out on motivation or procrastinating. That's not you accepting the insult totally. That's just taking out whatever constructive element you can so that you can use it to better yourself. You strip the insult of power to hurt and instead take the criticism and turn it into fuel the change. The Buddha says the stream defeats the rock, not through strength, but through perseverance. That's how transformation turns challenges into learning moments. An insult reframed allows you to roll in and around every obstacle like a stream, hour after hour, character becoming reworked in every inch of you. Of course, the insult isn't necessarily backed by valid criticism, but it is still an opportunity to practice patience, self-reflection, and emotional resilience. This is not only going to help you keep calm when necessary, but also strengthen your mindset so you are less likely to be affected by the future negativity. Approaching everything from this point makes you realize that every criticism you receive is really a constructive form of self-development, not an attempt to consider you personally. By turning any insult, it makes it your chance to strengthen your inner strength, fostering resilience and making you less affected by the opinions of others. 5th, practice self-validation. You define your worth. This is one of the most effective approaches helping to stay calm when people start insulting you. Learn to give yourself validation. Self-acceptance is the act of endorsing oneself without regard for other people's opinions or feelings towards the individual. In Buddhism, the good news is that happiness such as peace cannot be obtained by seeking for it in other people. Depending upon other people for recognition means that those people comprise your well-being and self-worth. Hurtful words can only sting where your self-esteem is invested. As a way of practicing self-validation, you should always repeat to yourself things that make you a special person, your accomplishments, and your assets. This may be by writing affirmations, keeping a journal, or having a positive self-talk about instances that the person has triumphed over different obstacles. The aim is to create your own pedestal of self-esteem on which you stabilize yourself. and not be shaken by every rude comment you receive. Once you are certain of yourself, you learn that what anyone says cannot change who you really are. According to the Buddha, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. In other words, this helps affirm that self-love and acceptance are essential to keeping the peace within. If you validate yourself, you don't have to rely on others to validate you, you know. You've grown within be such that you don't care about the insults at all. They don't have the power to shake your confidence. Self-validation also means practicing setting boundaries about what you will and will not allow into your mental space. You don't need to take to heart every word said against you. You can instead consciously decide which feedback is good feedback and which is just noise. Filtering out negative and baseless criticisms protects your mental well-being by giving you control over what you think about yourself. Self-validation isn't about not listening to the criticisms at all. It's about filtering the truth and focus on the feedback that truly helps you grow me but doesn't match my inner self. If you define your value and your own belief in it, you have the strength to stay calm and stay resilient against what you hear. This inner strength becomes your shield, strong enough to guide you through the problems of life, confident and peaceful. Sixth, develop emotional resilience. Embrace emotional detours. The term for this ability is emotional resilience, the ability to recover well from setbacks, such as being stung by an insult. Mindfulness and acceptance help us grow emotionally resilient in Buddhism, and that means we can take the ups and downs of our emotional experiences, and instead of drowning ourselves in them, we accept it. Often, it's the insults that set off strong reactions, anger, sadness, a feeling of inadequacy. However, with emotional resilience, you can get through these emotional detours with more calmness and more control. The beginning is to accept that negative emotions are a natural part of the human condition and to learn from emotional pain. Instead of repressing or creating distance with these feelings, allow these feelings to wash in and out. The same way the waves of a beach come and go. This acceptance means you are not going to be a sucker for your emotions. The Buddha teaches that suffering is optional, despite the fact we will all go through pain. It also reinforces how we respond to our emotional experiences. First, you're gonna get stung. The first taste of an insult isn't something you can avoid, but you decide how long you dwell on that sting and how much power you give that insult in your life. Mindfulness meditation is one powerful way to build the emotional resilience. With mindfulness, you can watch your thoughts and feelings without assigning value, leaving the insult and reaction space apart. You can instead take a moment, breathe, and reflect on what you're feeling and why. This is a practice to learn that emotions are not permanent things, but the experience one will have with or without emotions. It can be getting up and taking a moment of deep breathing before responding to a hurtful comment and letting yourself digest the emotion first before going on the attack. This pause is not about avoiding your feelings, but allowing for a pause for you to choose your response, in turning something you would have burst out over into an opportunity for calm reflection and self-control. You actually do yourself a favor. One of the big ways to build resilience is to reframe that negative message and not take it personally. If you are seeing them as personal attacks rather than challenges that test your emotional strength, you are not meeting the intention of these challenges. By each time you decide not to allow a slap on the cheek ruin your stability, you continue to build your capacity. And think of these moments as mental weightlifting. Each insult is an opportunity to build your emotional muscles, to build those arms and get stronger, to be less reactive and stronger over time. It also includes self-compassion as emotional resilience. It is best to be kind to yourself when the insults hurt. If you are hurt, it's okay to feel hurt, but let that not be your definition. Think about treating yourself in the same way that you'd treat a friend during a difficult time. Self-compassion allows you to bounce back faster and not get caught up in building up negative emotions that harm your mental well-being. The Buddha teach about yourself, or anybody in the whole universe. You deserve your love and affection, adds that we need to give ourselves kindness when we are struggling. In order to cultivate more resilience, practice behaviors that help to build your mind and body, such as yoga, exercise, and hanging out in nature. The more you do these activities, the more stress is reduced and the better you reconnect to your own inner calm, which will make it easier to deal with emotional disturbances. Have people around you who are supporting you that is positive for you and helps you to see things from a different angle when things get tough. Another way to avoid emotional buildup is to start opening up to trusted friends about how you feel, no matter how you feel. Emotional detours means being open to setbacks being temporary and to every emotional challenge being an opportunity for your own personal growth. Resilient people do not pretend to be without feeling. They find ways of leading through life's struggles with resilience and elegance. Climbing over each emotional hill builds your inner peace in the present, making yourself more able to respond calmly and without rancor in the future. In emotional resilience, it is to learn how to cope with all these emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the blah blah blahs, without getting drowned in them. Practicing mindfulness, reframing negative experiences, and offering yourself compassion help to create an inner tank of strength so that in the face of insults, you don't fall apart. Not only does this protect your peace, it allows you to use even life's most challenging situations with a sense of confidence that nada can unbalance your secure state. 7. Rise above with compassion. If you want to come up from negativity, then you have to pick yourself compassion instead of anger. According to Buddhism, working with compassion is one of the most potent responses to insults and hostility. In case of our going around an insult, use of compassion keeps you internally at peace and cools out the spar of tension that forms when we are insulted. The fact that doesn't mean you're accepting or condoning the insult. It's acknowledging that the insulter is a human being, experiencing their own pain and insecurity. In an effort to respond with empathy rather than hostility, you can interrupt the whirlpool of negative attractions, transforming the experience into a window of recovery, both yours and possibly whoever you're talking to. Helpful when an insulter gives an insult is to pause and reflect on what might be driving the insulter's behavior. Are they feeling their fears? Are they being stressed out? Or do they have personal struggles they are putting into their play? The shift in perspective lets you to detach a bit and see all the circumstantial bullshit in order to not see them as an enemy, but see them trapped in their own emotional turmoil. The Buddha said, "Well, unto us. Hatred vanquishes not hatred, but love. This is the eternal rule." That's the key thing. It's not about anger. It's about compassion, because that is what breaks out of the cycle of negativity. Saying a prayer can be as simple as wishing the person well, even if they're insulting you. Give acknowledgement to that pain and hope for the peace and healing of their lives. It helps you to keep your own peace in your mind and stop negativity from planting in your heart. Compassion shields you from insult and allows pain to pass through instead of hitting you, keeping you centered in kindness and compassion. This also makes you maintain your dignity and affirm that your emotional joints are strong enough to select love over anger. You also need to extend some sort of compassion to yourself. Of course, it's painful when someone makes fun of you, but you ought not let it become angry or insecure. Do unto yourself what you do unto others. Don't forget that there are no words for others that define your worth. Responding with compassion is a demonstration of your strength, not one of weakness. In fact, it takes much more strength to choose kindness over anger. Loving kindness meditation, for example, is one practice to consider to nurture compassion. It promotes you to your best love towards self, loved one, and even to one who has wronged you. As you start off, extend kindness to yourself, then extend to your friends, to strangers, on that final register, to those who may actually cause you pain. This doesn't have to happen immediately. It's actually a process to help release anger and keep your heart open. It seems setting a power example of compassion is exactly what you chose. Responding to insults by understanding isn't just protective of your own peace. It's a model for how to resolve conflict peacefully. This can serve as something of inspiration for the people around you to think about their actions and perhaps reflect on them in the future, and to change their behavior altogether. More than that, compassion puts you above the mundane, allows you to ignore the insults and understand the grand scheme. There is simply too much time in life to carry around negativity. When you choose understanding over anger, you disarm yourself of having to carry the emotional baggage of grudges and having to have a response. This freedom allows you to enjoy life free of others' words or actions, as compassion becomes the path to real inner peace. This doesn't mean to rise above as a way of never being negative, or to respond from a position of strength and with no empathy. That means accepting that everyone, including the people who insult us, is on a journey that we can't see what they're going through. Through taking compassion over anger, you take care of your peace, but also send out a rippled effect of kindness into the world. If you apply this, it turns every interaction into a chance for growth and connection, showing that bar none, the power of compassion is greater war than any insult. A powerful skill is to remain calm and unaffected in the face of insults, and that takes a long time and practice. If you take these Buddhist teachings and incorporate them into your life, you will help protect your own inner peace, be able to rise above negativity, and be able to maintain your composure, whatever people may say. Keep in mind first, you have power in the way you deal.
In a moment of profound clarity under the Bodhi tree, Buddha realized a simple yet transformative truth. What we think, we become. This revelation wasn't just about controlling our thoughts. It was about mastering ourselves, unlocking the power within to shape our own reality. But let's be honest, how many of us are truly in control of our lives? How often do we find ourselves stuck in the same destructive patterns, repeating the same mistakes, and wondering why we feel so lost? The truth is that mastering oneself is one of the hardest battles we'll ever face. Buddha's guidance emphasizes that true victory lies not in external conquests, but in winning the battles within. Think about it. How often do negative thoughts, fears, and doubts hold you back from being the person you truly want to be? Don't worry. Today, you're going to discover 10 powerful Buddhist lessons that have the potential to transform not just your mindset, but your entire life. These timeless teachings offer the tools to master your mind, overcome your fears, and embrace the best version of yourself. Stay with me till the end, because what you'll learn can change everything. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your journey toward mastering yourself. Ferociously brave. Fear is simply false evidence appearing real. These words echo in the mind, creating a sense of urgency, a push to question the root of our fear. Fear of uncertainty, of change, is what holds so many of us back. We cling to the familiar, hesitant to step into the unknown. But as the Buddha taught, true bravery is born in discomfort. It is not the absence of fear, but but the ability to move forward in spite of it. Discomfort is the currency of success. Think about that for a moment. To grow, to evolve, we must embrace what makes us uneasy. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a principle called anicca, or impermanence. Everything is in constant flux. Our bodies, our relationships, the very world around us. When you understand that nothing stays the same, you begin to see fear for what it truly is. A reaction to a fleeting moment, a grasping for control in an uncontrollable world. But why do we grasp so tightly? Why do we hold on when we know change is inevitable? Because we've been conditioned to think that certainty equals safety. We live in a society that places comfort above growth. Yet, Buddha's wisdom reminds us, do not fear change, for change is the breath of life itself. It is through change that we discover who we truly are. We grow the most when we face our fears, not when we avoid them. Most people aren't successful because they worry far too much about what others might think, how they might be judged, how they might fail. Imagine the weight that would lift if you simply accepted the truth of impermanence. Once we realize that everything is temporary, our successes, our failures, even our fears, what is there left to fear? Look to the Zen monk who faced unimaginable loss during wartime. His home was destroyed, his family scattered, yet he found peace, not by clinging to what was lost, but by accepting its impermanence. He knew that suffering, like joy, was temporary. His bravery came from understanding that the only thing permanent was change. It was this realization that allowed him to act, to move forward in the face of despair. But how do we bring this mindset into our own lives? Start small, acknowledge your fears, sit with them, meditate on the concept of impermanence. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that is no longer serving me? Then, take one step, however small, toward that fear. The more you do this, the less power fear will hold over you. And as you face these challenges, you'll notice something remarkable. Clarity of mind begins to emerge. This clarity, born of mindfulness and meditation, will guide you deeper into bravery, allowing you to act with purpose, with strength, with unwavering courage. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. It's a choice. Every day, you choose whether to let fear control you or to embrace life's uncertainties with fierce bravery. You are capable of far more than you give yourself credit for, but mastery begins when you decide to step into the unknown and face whatever comes your way. And this leads us to an essential question. How can this clarity of mind, this deepened bravery, lead to mastering yourself? Next lesson holds the key. Developing insight. See the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. These words strike deep at the heart of confusion. How often do we cloud our own vision, lost in mental fog, emotional storms, and illusions we've created about ourselves and the world? In Buddhism, the path to clarity begins with vipassana, insight meditation. It is through insight that we pierce through this fog and see the true nature of reality. Finding and cultivating wisdom will lead to development of an insight. Wisdom is not something external, not something given to us. It is developed within through mindful observation and deep reflection. Buddha's path to enlightenment was not a simple one. It required him to question everything, to look beyond the surface. The truth was revealed to him not through grand gestures, but through the quiet act of sitting with his thoughts, observing them without judgment, and allowing clarity to emerge. We live in a world that is constantly pulling us in 1,000 directions. We are bombarded with distractions, both external and internal. Our thoughts are scattered, our emotions turbulent. In this whirlwind, how can we possibly find clarity? The answer lies in mindfulness. When you practice insight meditation, you train the mind to observe. You learn to watch your thoughts, your emotions, without attaching to them. You learn to see them as they are, impermanent, fleeting. This is the power of insight. It allows us to break free from the illusions that bind us. It allows us to see the world and ourselves with crystal clarity. True wisdom comes from seeing beyond the surface. We often make the mistake of seeing only what we want to see, avoiding uncomfortable truths or projecting our desires onto reality. But the path to mastery begins when we stop running, stop hiding, and start looking at life with open eyes. Take the story of Buddha's enlightenment. After years of searching for answers in all the wrong places, he finally sat beneath the Bodhi tree and turned inward. He faced his thoughts, his fears, his desires without flinching. And in that stillness, in that profound insight, he saw the true nature of suffering and the path to liberation. It wasn't through avoidance or indulgence or intellectual analysis, but through direct, personal insight into the workings of his own mind. But insight alone is not enough. We must cultivate it, nurture it. We must practice. Start by sitting with your own thoughts. Notice how often they drift, how easily your mind becomes tangled in worries, judgments, desires. Instead of fighting this, simply observe. Watch your thoughts without attaching to them. Like clouds passing through the sky, they will come and go. And in the space between, clarity will begin to emerge. Questioning every segment of life like a child will help us to find clarity. This is not a passive act, it is a courageous one. To see clearly means to question everything. To question your beliefs, your habits, your attachments. It means to look deeper beyond the surface and to seek the truth. And in that truth, you will find clarity. And in clarity, you will find peace. Clarity alone isn't enough for mastery. Willpower turns insight into action. Let's uncover how your inner strength can transform understanding into true mastery. Willpower and integrity. Your will has the power to rewrite your subconscious. Think about that. In the quiet moments when the world isn't watching, when no one is there to applaud or criticize, what do you choose? The strength to persist, to push through, comes from willpower. And willpower, when paired with integrity, creates an unstoppable force. Yet so many feel a disconnect, struggling to stay true to their own values, to align their actions with the very principles they hold dear. In Buddhism, willpower is not just about brute force or rigid discipline. It's about mindfulness, about being fully aware of the choices you make in each moment. Willpower is the quiet strength that guides you through discomfort, the steady hand that keeps you on the path when distractions pull you away. But what is willpower without integrity? Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It is the foundation of true strength. To live with integrity means that your actions reflect your values even in the smallest moments. In Buddhism, this alignment is reflected in the Eightfold Path, a moral compass that guides our decisions, our thoughts, our behavior. The Buddha taught that when we live in harmony with these principles, we strengthen our will, because we are no longer divided between our desires and our conscience. We are unified in purpose. But it's so easy, isn't it, to drift from that purpose, to say one thing and do another, to make promises to ourselves, only to break them when no one is there to hold us accountable. This is where willpower comes in, the force that pulls us back to our true path. But willpower isn't just about overcoming temptations or sticking to rigid rules. It's about aligning your actions with your deepest values, consistently, day by day, moment by moment. Your values are your compass. Let them guide you unwaveringly. When you feel lost, when your will begins to falter, look inward. Reflect on your values. Ask yourself, does this action, this decision, reflect who I truly am, who I want to become? The more we practice this alignment, the stronger our willpower becomes, because we're no longer fighting against ourselves. Consider the story of a Buddhist nun who took a vow of silence for years. It wasn't an act of punishment or suffering, but a commitment to mindfulness and ethical living. Every day, she chose silence over speech, presence over distraction. Her willpower wasn't a rigid force, but a gentle strength, born from her deep alignment with her values. Through mindfulness and ethical living, she became unshakable in her resolve, because every action was guided by integrity. To strengthen your own willpower, start small. Set achievable goals. Make a promise to yourself that reflects your deeper values. Then keep that promise, even when no one is watching. Each time you follow through, you build inner strength. Each time you align your actions with your values, you grow closer to mastery. But there's more. It's not just about having the will to act. It's about building the discipline to consistently follow through. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. It's what transforms your willpower into action, day after day. But how do you cultivate this discipline? How do you ensure that your actions always reflect your intentions? Further, we dive deeper into the role of discipline, exploring how it helps us bring our intentions to life, forging a path to true mastery. Self-discipline. We should be committed towards our goals, not just interested. In a world overflowing with distractions, commitment is rare. We wake up with plans, dreams, ambitions. But by the end of the day, how often do we find ourselves derailed by the smallest temptation, the slightest distraction? Discipline is the key to staying the course. And in Buddhism, it's not just about forcefully pushing through. It's about mastering the mind to avoid cravings, to transcend distractions. In Buddhist teachings, self-discipline is essential to walking the middle path. It's the delicate balance between indulgence and deprivation, between chasing pleasure and avoiding pain. True discipline isn't about rigidity, but about mindful regulation. It's about staying committed to your purpose without being swayed by fleeting desires. Discipline is the art of staying committed to your purpose. When you master the art of discipline, you master yourself. Think about how many times you've been pulled away from what truly matters. Whether it's the lure of social media, the call of instant gratification, or the tendency to procrastinate, these distractions are nothing but illusions. In Buddhism, distractions are understood as manifestations of cravings, tanha, which bind us to suffering. The more we give in, the more entangled we become. But through mindfulness, we can break free. By training the mind to stay focused, we loosen the grip of these distractions and find freedom in discipline. Where there is no discipline, there is no mastery. Without discipline, we wander aimlessly, drifting from one thing to the next, never making real progress. The Buddha taught that self-discipline is about taking ownership, not just of our actions, but of our thoughts, our desires, our impulses. When you learn to control the mind, you control your life. Everything starts with the mind. The way you think shapes the way you live. Discipline your mind, and your life will follow. The Zen story of a samurai who practiced disciplined meditation daily teaches us this lesson. As a warrior, his physical strength and skill were undeniable, but his true power came from the stillness of his mind. Every day, he would sit in meditation, training his mind to stay present, to avoid the noise and distractions of the world. This practice didn't just make him a better warrior. It made him a balanced human being, capable of navigating life's challenges with grace and focus. His discipline wasn't about controlling the external world, It was about mastering his internal landscape. To apply this lesson in your own life, start small. Focus on one area where you feel you lack discipline. Maybe it's in your health, your relationships, or your personal goals. Choose one area and commit to it fully. Use mindfulness to stay consistent, to stay intentional. Each time you feel the pull of distraction, pause. Observe it without judgment, and then bring your attention back to your goal. This is the path to mastery. Self-discipline isn't just willpower. It's knowing yourself, your weaknesses, your desires. How can this deeper self-awareness ignite your discipline? Let's take the next step on the path to mastery. Know yourself. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. These words hold a power often forgotten in the noise of modern life. So many of us are distracted, pulled away from our own minds by the constant demands of the external world. But real mastery of life, of oneself, begins when you turn inward. In Buddhism, self-knowledge is the foundation for personal transformation. It's about going beyond the ego, beyond the surface, to discover who you truly are. Many people spend their lives searching for meaning outside of themselves, measuring success by the opinions of others, chasing after fleeting desires. But the Buddha taught that the answers we seek are not outside, they are within. One who does not know thyself knows nothing. If you don't take the time to understand your own mind, how can you ever hope to understand the world? How can you find peace, direction, or purpose? Through mindfulness, sati, we begin to observe the fluctuations of the mind. This practice teaches us to sit with our thoughts, our emotions, without becoming attached to them. It's easy to be swept away by feelings, to react to every thought as if it defines us. But mindfulness shows us that these mental states are like waves in the ocean, temporary, ever-changing, not who we are. The more we practice, the clearer we become. We start to see the patterns, the desires, the fears that shape our lives. And in this clarity, we find our true nature. To master life, first master the mind. If you want to gain control over your life, you must first gain control over your mind. It is the mind that interprets the world, that shapes your experiences. When your mind is clouded by distraction, fear, or ego, your actions follow. But when your mind is clear, when you know yourself deeply, everything changes. You act with intention. You live with purpose. You move through life with a sense of peace that cannot be shaken by external events. There's a story in Buddhism about a monk who sought enlightenment. For 10 years, he lived in solitude, dedicating himself to deep self-reflection. Every day, he sat in meditation, peeling away the layers of ego, desires, and distractions that had clouded his mind. He didn't seek validation from others. He didn't look for answers outside of himself. Instead, he journeyed within. And after years of solitude, he emerged with a profound understanding of his true self, free from the illusions that had once bound him. This is the power of knowing yourself. It's not a quick fix, not a destination you reach overnight. It's a lifelong journey, a process of unraveling, of looking inward each day with honesty and courage. Spend time each day in self-reflection. Observe your thoughts, your emotions, your desires, without judgment, without attachment. Simply notice. Over time, you will start to see who you really are beneath the noise of the mind. But self-knowledge is only the beginning. True mastery unfolds when authentic expression flows from within, aligning your creativity with your deepest purpose. Self-expression and creativity. Never compare yourself. Everyone is simply unique. In a world obsessed with perfection and approval, we often suppress our creativity. We fear judgment, we doubt ourselves, and we hold back the very thing that makes us unique. But in Buddhism, self-expression is not just an act, It's a way of connecting with the divine within, of bringing your inner wisdom into the world. When you allow yourself to create, you reveal a piece of your soul, a reflection of your inner state. Self-expression is the seed of authenticity. When you express yourself freely, without fear or attachment, you step into a space of authenticity. Creativity in Buddhism is a natural extension of mindfulness. When you are fully present in the moment, whether writing, painting, speaking, or simply solving a problem, you allow your true self to emerge. Creativity is not forced. It flows naturally when you are in tune with yourself, when your mind is free of clutter and distraction. Mindfulness, sati, teaches us to be present, to experience life as it is, without attachment to results or expectations. When we bring this mindfulness into our creative process, we break free from the chains of judgment and fear. We no longer create for approval or validation. We create because it is a reflection of who we are, a way to share our truth with the world. And in this sharing, there is a deep sense of fulfillment. You are not creating for others. You are creating to express your inner wisdom. Consider the life of the Buddhist poet Ryokan, who lived in simplicity and solitude. Through his poetry, he expressed the profound beauty he found in nature, the stillness of the mountains, the flowing rivers, the rustling of leaves. His poetry was not grand or complicated. It was simple, yet deeply moving. It reflected his meditative practice, his ability to see the world through the lens of mindfulness. Ryokan did not write for fame or recognition. He wrote because it was his way of expressing the deep peace he felt within. When you create, you express the divine within you. This is the power of creativity. It is not just a skill or a talent. It is a channel through which your inner wisdom flows. It is a way to communicate with the world, to show others who you truly are, without fear, without hesitation. When you create with mindfulness, your actions become a reflection of your spirit, and your creativity becomes a gift to the world. So how can you begin to unlock this creative energy? Start by clearing your mind of mental blocks. Practice mindfulness, focus on being present, and let go of the need for perfection. Engage in creative activities, whether it's writing, drawing, cooking, or problem solving, without worrying about the outcome. The process is where the beauty lies, not in the final product. The more you engage in mindful creativity, the more your authentic self will begin to shine through. But consider this. How does your environment shape your inner peace and creativity? The spaces and people around you either nurture or stifle your growth. Let's explore how a peaceful setting can fuel your self-mastery. Positive environment. Your environment shapes your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your life. In the whirlwind of everyday life, we often underestimate how much our surroundings affect us. We find ourselves stuck in toxic environments, whether it's the places we live, the people we associate with, or even the energy we allow into our minds. But if you truly want to master yourself, you must realize that your environment is not just a backdrop. It's a powerful influence that can either nurture your growth or drain it away. Buddhism teaches the importance of kalyana mitta, right association. It means choosing to surround yourself with people and spaces that encourage your highest potential. People who inspire, challenge, and support you on your path. Get along with other seekers who will push and stretch you. The people you keep close either help you grow or hold you back. Wisdom and compassion are contagious, and being around those who embody these qualities helps elevate your own spirit. Surrounding yourself with negativity and conflict, that too will seep into your mind, shaping your thoughts and ultimately your actions. Look around you. Are your surroundings conducive to your growth? A cluttered, chaotic space leads to a cluttered, chaotic mind. And just as a calm lake reflects the sky perfectly, a calm mind thrives in a calm space. A calm mind thrives in a calm space. We often overlook the importance of creating a peaceful, orderly environment. But this simple act of creating space, physically, mentally, emotionally, opens up room for growth. It allows you to breathe, to reflect, and to focus on what truly matters. Think of the Buddha's monastic community, the Sangha. It wasn't just a group of individuals living together. It was a carefully cultivated environment where each person uplifted the other, where the presence of wisdom and compassion infused every action, every word, every thought. This is the kind of environment that fosters enlightenment, where each person's growth supports the growth of the whole. Imagine being surrounded by those who constantly help you rise, who reflect the best version of yourself back to you. But the lesson goes deeper than just rearranging your furniture or spending time with kind people. You must consciously choose to create an environment that nurtures your spirit, both inside and out. It requires reassessment of your physical space, the media you consume, the energy of those you keep close. Your environment either empowers you or diminishes you. Choose wisely. Whether it's decluttering your living space, distancing yourself from negativity, or seeking out communities that inspire growth, this choice is yours. It's not about perfection, but about creating a space where your soul can breathe freely. How do you start? Begin with small changes. Clean up a corner of your home. Spend time in nature. Seek out mentors or friends who reflect the person you aspire to become. Let go of toxic relationships and replace them with connections that fuel your inner peace. These changes may seem small, but their effects will ripple through every aspect of your life, bringing you closer to mastery. But what if you're in an environment you can't change? This is where self-love becomes your greatest ally, nurturing yourself from within to rise above, even in the toughest surroundings. Self-love. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Yet how often do we forget this simple truth? In a world that demands so much of us, where we constantly strive to meet the expectations of others, we often neglect the most important relationship we have, the one with ourselves. Self-love is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. In Buddhism, this is taught through the practice of loving kindness, or metta, a gentle yet powerful force that begins with ourselves before it radiates outward to others. Love yourself first, and everything else falls into line. Many of us resist this idea, thinking that love for oneself is selfish, or that our worth is measured by how much we give to others. But in Buddhism, self-love is seen as the foundation of all growth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot serve the world if you are constantly depleted, disconnected, or critical of yourself. When you learn to offer yourself compassion, kindness, and patience, you unlock the potential for true mastery. Because mastery doesn't come from perfection, it comes from love. In the Buddhist practice of loving-kindness meditation, metta bhavana, we start by offering unconditional love to ourselves. We learn to accept our flaws, our mistakes, and our humanity. By turning inward with compassion, we begin to heal the wounds that have been created by self-criticism and judgment. This love we cultivate for ourselves is not selfish. It is the wellspring from which all other love flows. As you learn to love yourself, you find that this love naturally extends to others in a way that is authentic and boundless. But how do we begin to practice self-love in a world that is constantly telling us we are not enough? We start small. We create daily habits of self-care, not just physical, but emotional. We should figure out certain self-care habits that can be practiced every day, which will keep us going. Whether it's through daily affirmations, moments of meditation, or simple acts of kindness toward ourselves, these practices reinforce the truth that we are worthy of love. They build a foundation of self-compassion that strengthens over time. Consider the story of a king who ruled with great wisdom and compassion, but only after he learned to forgive himself. For years, he had been harsh and unforgiving, both to himself and to his people. It wasn't until he began to practice self-compassion that he was able to lead with true wisdom. The Buddha's teachings mirror this story, showing us that only by loving ourselves can we love others fully, and only by mastering the art of self-love can we reach our full potential. Self-love is not selfish. It is the wellspring of all growth. Without it, we remain stuck, chasing external validation, disconnected from our true selves. With it, we grow strong, resilient, and capable of offering love to the world. So, take a moment each day to remind yourself, you are worthy. Practice loving kindness toward yourself, and you will find that the path to mastery begins with compassion. But self-love alone is not enough. How can wise mentors lead us deeper on the path to mastery, guiding us to become our highest selves? Mentors. We should be humble enough to realize that nobody can make it alone. In a world filled with complexity and challenges, many of us struggle to navigate life on our own. We try to master ourselves, to grow spiritually, but often stumble because we lack the guidance of someone who has walked the path before us. A mentor, a guide, can make all the difference. In Buddhism, the teacher plays a crucial role in helping disciples deepen their wisdom, illuminate their blind spots, and challenge them to grow beyond their limitations. A good teacher can open your eyes, but a great teacher opens your mind. There's something profound about the influence of a wise mentor. It's not just about imparting knowledge. It's about helping you see yourself clearly, pushing you to question what you thought you knew. A true mentor doesn't simply tell you what to do. They help you discover the truth for yourself. They encourage your growth, helping you unlock the wisdom already within, often in ways you couldn't achieve on your own. In Buddhist tradition, the Buddha himself was a mentor to his disciples, guiding them on the path to enlightenment. His wisdom wasn't just in his words, but in his presence, in the way he lived, and in how he held up a mirror for others to see their own potential. This is the essence of mentorship, lighting the way forward when the path seems unclear. Mentorship lights the way forward when the path seems unclear. When the world feels overwhelming, a wise mentor offers clarity, helping you move with purpose and confidence. The relationship between Buddha and his disciple Ananda is a powerful example of this bond. Ananda wasn't just a follower. He was someone who deeply learned from the Buddha's wisdom. Through years of observation, questioning, and practice, Ananda's connection to his mentor transformed him. The Buddha's teachings became a part of him, not just through instruction, but through the shared journey of exploration. This bond of mentorship is what helped Ananda become wise in his own right, eventually continuing the teachings after the Buddha's passing. We all need this kind of guidance in life. We need someone to challenge us, to push us beyond our comfort zones, to help us see the areas where we're stuck. We should not hesitate and always look for help from others. Seeking out a mentor is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It shows that you understand that growth is a shared journey, not a solitary one. A wise mentor will illuminate your path to mastery, offering insight and clarity where once there was doubt. So, how do you find such a mentor? Begin by looking for those who embody the values you wish to cultivate. Observe them, learn from them. Engage with genuine curiosity and humility. Mentorship is not about being told what to do. It's about building a relationship of mutual respect, learning, and growth. Be open to the guidance they offer and let their wisdom challenge and transform you. Mentorship is just one part of the journey. How does true, pure love guide our path to personal growth and mastery? This principle uncovers the deeper truth. Love, in its essence, is the driving force behind mastering ourselves. Love. Love is the bridge between you and everything. Love, as we often know it, is conditioned. We give it expecting it in return, a barter masked by emotion. But this path, paved by expectations, leads us into suffering, because when love is given with strings attached, it can never truly be felt. In Buddhism, love, or compassionate love, karuna, is different. It asks for nothing, yet it gives everything. It is boundless, like the ocean, flowing freely between you and all beings. The love we seek outside of ourselves is already within, waiting for us to unlock its power. True mastery begins when you dissolve the barriers around your heart. Unconditional love is the pure energy of compassion that transcends ego, connecting us on a profound level. When we stop viewing others through the lens of our needs, their struggles become more vivid. And then, a miraculous thing happens. Our problems seem smaller, insignificant. This shift in perception is mastery. Think of the Bodhisattva, the enlightened being who, out of immense love, chooses to delay personal liberation. Instead of leaving this world of suffering, they remain to guide others toward enlightenment. Such selfless love doesn't seek rewards, but offers itself fully. It's through love like this that we master life itself. The more we emit the frequency of love, the more we are loved back. It is no longer a transaction. It is a flow, a wave that sweeps through you and touches everything around you. Mastery of love means loving without conditions, without judgments. It is easy to love those who treat us well, but can you love someone who challenges you? Can you extend love to the difficult people in your life, to yourself, when you fall short of your own expectations? This is where loving kindness meditation becomes your daily practice. In this meditation, you extend love not only to those you care about, but also to those who cause you pain. You begin with yourself, then to loved ones, then to those you might feel indifferent towards, and eventually to those who have hurt you. It's not easy, but with each breath, you dissolve the boundaries that separate you from the rest of existence. Slowly, you start feeling the shift within, as if a weight is lifted. The love you give is the love you get. Loving yourself unconditionally will teach you to love others in the same way. Master this, and you have begun to master yourself. How many of us cling to the pain of others' actions, feeling weighed down by bitterness? But when we release that grip and offer love in its place, we are no longer chained by our past. Mastering love means seeing the bigger picture, that every hurtful action, every harsh word stems from another's suffering. By mastering love, we create space for forgiveness, healing, and growth. When we start looking at others' problems, our problems start looking small all of a sudden. This, then, is Buddha's secret. Love, unconditional and compassionate, isn't just about others. It is about you. When you give love freely, you transform. You become more, not less. You become the master of your own life, untethered by the ego's constant demands. You become like the Bodhisattva, carrying love for all beings, your heart open to the universe. How can faith in yourself and the universe empower your journey to mastery? Trust in love and in your path. Liberation is just around the corner. Faith. Surrender and believe in something bigger than yourself. Faith. It's a word we often associate with blind belief, something we follow without question. But in Buddhism, faith, or saddha, is different. It is not about turning a blind eye to reality. It is about opening your heart to the possibilities that lie ahead. Faith is the quiet, unwavering trust that the path you're on will lead you to where you need to be. And in a world full of uncertainty, this is the most powerful kind of mastery. Doubt and anxiety cloud our minds when we try to control what's beyond our grasp. We spend our days worrying about the future, wondering if our efforts will pay off. This constant striving for control is exhausting, like swimming upstream in a river too strong. But when you cultivate faith, you stop fighting against the current. You learn to trust in the flow of your life. Faith isn't about knowing the outcome. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you have the strength to meet it. Trust in the unfolding of your life. Think of the Buddha himself. His journey was filled with challenges, doubts, and temptations. Yet, he walked his path with an unwavering belief that through self-transformation, he could reach enlightenment. Buddha didn't have a map. He had faith. Faith in the teachings, in the process, and most importantly, in his own ability to grow. This faith is not passive. It is the foundation upon which all growth is built. You take one step and then another, trusting that the ground will appear beneath your feet. But what about when it doesn't? When things fall apart, when progress feels slow or non-existent? This is when faith is tested. Mastery of yourself requires faith not only in the easy moments, but also in the hardest. It's about letting go of the need to control every detail and learning to trust the process. If you try to control everything, you will drown in anxiety. But if you surrender to the flow, you find peace, even in the midst of chaos. Faith is action in uncertainty. When results don't show up immediately, faith keeps you moving forward. It's about knowing that what you plant today will grow tomorrow, even if you cannot see the roots taking hold beneath the surface. This is where mindfulness comes in. By being present, by practicing mindfulness every day, you strengthen your trust in the unfolding of your own growth. Every breath, every moment of awareness builds your faith. Faith is the foundation upon which mastery is built. Look within. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust that life has a rhythm and a flow, even when you can't see it? Faith in yourself, in the path, and in something greater than yourself doesn't mean you stop putting in effort. It means you learn to balance effort with grace. Faith is knowing that after you've done everything in your power, you can surrender the rest to the universe. Buddha's journey towards enlightenment was a testament to faith, not in some distant deity, but in the power of inner transformation. He walked in uncertainty, but he kept walking, and so can you. How can you navigate life's challenges with wisdom? The final principle unveils that true mastery demands both effort and grace. Play smart. Life is a game. Play it wisely. So many of us fall into one of two extremes. We push too hard, fighting against life's current, exhausting ourselves in the process. Or we give up too easily, retreating at the first sign of difficulty, convinced that we've already failed. In both cases, we miss the point. Life is not about brute force, nor is it about resignation. Life is a game, a delicate dance between action and surrender. And to master this game, you must learn to play smart. Buddhism teaches the concept of upaya, skillful means. It's the ability to navigate life with wisdom and intelligence, choosing the actions that lead to the greatest good. It's not about always doing more. It's about doing what's right at the right moment. Wisdom is knowing when to push and when to step back, when to speak and when to remain silent. This balance is the key to self-mastery. Wisdom is knowing the right moment for everything. Consider the story of the Zen master, renowned for his teachings. One day, a student asked him a question, expecting an answer that would solve his problem. But the master simply sat in silence. Confused, the student grew impatient, wondering why the master didn't respond. But in that silence, the answer came to him, not through words, but through the stillness of his own mind. The Zen master knew that silence, in that moment, was more powerful than any verbal response. He understood the art of balanced action, of knowing when to teach and when to let go. This is the essence of playing smart. Mastering yourself isn't about overexertion or giving up. It's about aligning yourself with life's natural flow. True mastery is a balance between action and surrender. It's recognizing that your mind, your subconscious, is 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious effort. When you act out of force, you are working against the flow. When you act with wisdom, you are working with the flow, and that is where your power lies. So how do you apply this in your own life? It begins with mindfulness. Each decision you make, big or small, is an opportunity to practice wisdom. Before you act, reflect. Is this the right moment? Is this the right action? Are you pushing too hard, or are you letting go too soon? Life doesn't reward the strongest or the fastest. It rewards those who can adapt, those who can flow with the changing tides while maintaining their inner balance. True mastery is a balance between action and surrender. Think of the great climbers who reach the highest peaks. They don't rush up the mountain. They pace themselves, resting when needed, pushing forward when the moment is right. They understand that reaching the top is not just about physical strength, but about mental strategy, about knowing when to conserve energy and when to give it their all. Life is no different. Your journey to self-mastery will require effort, but it will also require grace, the ability to let go and trust that things will unfold as they should. The road to self-mastery is not easy. There will be moments when you feel lost, moments when you question whether it's worth it. But remember this, the hardest climbs always end with the most beautiful views. Each step you take, each challenge you face, brings you closer to the mastery you seek. And when you finally reach that summit, you'll look back and realize that every struggle, every moment of doubt was part of the process. If we truly want to be successful, we need more than just power and effort. We need vision, commitment, speed, strategy, and above all, skill. Mastery of oneself is not a passive process. It requires intentional action and immediate steps toward growth. We must be willing to invest in ourselves, to cultivate not just our bodies, but our minds and our life energies. Growth is not accidental. It's a product of consistent work. Cultivate wisdom and compassion for others as well. Your journey isn't just about you. As you master yourself, you become a beacon for those around you. Help others, inspire them, show them what is possible when you live a life of balance, wisdom, and grace. Keep learning, keep hustling, and never stop growing. Like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Life Lessons for more inspiring Buddhist insights on living a peaceful and balanced life.
Every morning, when we wake up and face the world anew, we have a unique opportunity to set the tone for our day. This is a chance to ground ourselves, find our inner strength, and prepare our minds to face the challenges that lie ahead. In Buddhism, there is a powerful practice that encourages us to speak 5 lines to ourselves every morning. This simple yet profound ritual can be a source of inspiration and guidance, helping us navigate the complexities of life with a calm and compassionate heart. Buddhism, a spiritual tradition with roots dating back over 2.5 millennia, offers a wealth of teachings that promote mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. It is a path that can help us understand the nature of suffering, the causes of our unhappiness, and the way to find true happiness and liberation. In this journey through the spiritual teachings of Buddhism, we will explore the significance of speaking 5 lines to ourselves each morning and how this practice can profoundly influence our lives. The power of self-affirmation. Affirmations are positive statements that can help rewire our thought patterns and beliefs. When spoken with intention and conviction, they have the potential to reprogram our subconscious mind, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. In Buddhism, self-affirmations serve as a way to align our inner dialogue with the principles of the Noble Eightfold Path. Speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is a powerful self-affirmation practice that can help you set a positive tone for the day. These lines are designed to reinforce core Buddhist teachings and nurture the qualities necessary for a fulfilling and meaningful life. Line 1. I am grateful for this new day. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. The simple act of acknowledging the gift of a new day fosters a sense of appreciation for the present moment. It reminds us that each day is an opportunity to make progress on our spiritual journey. In Buddhism, gratitude is not just about being thankful for external circumstances, but recognizing the potential for growth and transformation within ourselves. It encourages us to approach each day with an open heart, ready to embrace whatever comes our way. By starting your day with the affirmation, I am grateful for this new day, you set the stage for mindful living. This line reminds us to be present, appreciative, and open to the lessons that life has to offer. Line 2. I embrace impermanence. Impermanence is a central concept in Buddhism. It teaches us that everything in the world, including ourselves, is constantly changing. The acknowledgement of impermanence helps us let go of attachment and live in the present moment. When you repeat the line, I embrace impermanence, you are reaffirming your commitment to staying flexible and open to life's ever-changing nature. This acceptance of impermanence can reduce anxiety, fear, and suffering as you become more adaptable and less resistant to the natural flow of life. Line 3. I cultivate compassion for myself and others. Compassion is a core value in Buddhism. The Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of treating oneself and others with kindness, empathy, and understanding. By saying, I cultivate compassion for myself and others, you set the intention to be more compassionate in your thoughts, words, and actions. This line is a reminder that compassion is not only a response to suffering, but a proactive choice. It encourages us to be mindful of our interactions and to approach others with an open heart. By cultivating compassion, we contribute to our own well-being and the well-being of those around us. Line 4. I walk the path of wisdom. The pursuit of wisdom is integral to Buddhist practice. Wisdom, in the Buddhist context, is the understanding of the true nature of reality and the ability to discern the causes of suffering. When you declare, I walk the path of wisdom, you commit to learning and growing in your understanding of life. This line encourages you to seek knowledge and self-awareness. It prompts you to engage in practices that cultivate wisdom, such as mindfulness and meditation. Walking the path of wisdom leads to greater clarity and the ability to make choices that align with your true self and your spiritual journey. Line 5. I am at peace with myself. Ultimately, the goal of Buddhism is to find inner peace. The line, I am at peace with myself, is a powerful affirmation of your commitment to achieving tranquility and serenity in your life. It is an acknowledgement of your ability to let go of attachment, cravings, and negative emotions. By declaring your peace with yourself, you affirm your dedication to inner harmony and contentment. This affirmation can help you navigate the ups and downs of life with equanimity, providing a stable foundation for spiritual growth. Speaking with intention and mindfulness. Speaking the 5 lines to yourself every morning is not a mechanical or rote practice. It should be done with intention and mindfulness to harness its transformative power. Let's explore how to infuse these lines with depth and meaning. Morning ritual, creating a sacred space. To begin your practice, find a quiet and serene space where you can be alone with your thoughts. Light a candle or incense if it resonates with you. This will serve as a visual and olfactory reminder of your commitment to mindfulness. Pause and breathe. Mindful awareness. Before reciting the lines, Take a few moments to center yourself. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. This helps to anchor you in the present moment and create a sense of stillness. Recite the lines slowly. Intentional affirmations. As you recite each line, say it slowly and deliberately. Allow the words to resonate within you. Reflect on their meaning and how they relate to your life. Consider how you can apply these principles throughout the day. Visualize. Creating a mental image. While speaking the lines, visualize the qualities and intentions they represent. For example, when affirming your gratitude for the new day, imagine the sun rising and filling your day with warmth and possibility. Visualizing these qualities can make the affirmations more vivid and powerful. Feel the emotions. Connect with your heart. Connect with the emotions associated with each line. As you say, "I am at peace with myself," feel a sense of calm and contentment wash over you. This emotional connection reinforces the power of the affirmation. Gratitude meditation. After reciting the 5 lines, spend a few moments in a gratitude meditation. Focus on the things you are grateful for in your life, big or small. Allow the feelings of gratitude to wash over you, filling you with a sense of joy and contentment. The transformative power of 5 lines. Speaking these 5 lines to yourself every morning is not just a ritual. It's a transformative practice that can profoundly impact your life. Let's explore the ways in which these lines can help you cultivate the key qualities of mindfulness: compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. Mindfulness. The first line, "I am grateful for this new day," sets the tone for mindfulness. It encourages you to be present and attentive to the present moment. When you start your day with gratitude, you become more aware of the beauty and opportunities that each day brings. This awareness can lead to a more mindful and fulfilling life. Mindfulness, in the Buddhist context, involves being fully engaged in the present moment without judgment. By acknowledging the impermanence of life in the second line, "I embrace impermanence," you deepen your understanding of this key Buddhist concept. You learn to let go of attachments and expectations, allowing you to flow more gracefully with the changes and challenges that life presents. Compassion. The third line, "I cultivate compassion for myself and others," is a reminder of the importance of treating yourself and those around you with kindness. Compassion is a key component of the Noble Eightfold Path, and it's an essential aspect of Buddhist practice. By affirming your commitment to compassion, you set the intention to be more empathetic, forgiving, and understanding in your interactions with others. As you practice compassion for yourself, you learn to let go of self-criticism and self-judgment. This self-compassion is crucial for your overall well-being and mental health. When you are at peace with yourself, as stated in the 5th line, you are better equipped to extend that peace to others. Wisdom. The 4th line, "I walk the path of wisdom," is a call to cultivate understanding and discernment. Wisdom in Buddhism is not merely about accumulating knowledge, but about gaining insight into the nature of reality and the causes of suffering. By affirming your commitment to wisdom, you set the intention to seek knowledge and self-awareness. This commitment to wisdom encourages you to engage in practices like mindfulness and meditation, which are instrumental in deepening your understanding of yourself and the world. Wisdom allows you to make choices that align with your true self and your spiritual journey, leading to a more purposeful and fulfilling life. Inner peace. Ultimately, the 5th line, "I am at peace with myself," encapsulates the goal of Buddhism: to find inner peace. Inner peace is the result of letting go of attachment, craving, and negative emotions. It's a state of tranquility and serenity that allows you to navigate the ups and downs of life with equanimity. By affirming your peace with yourself every morning, you set the stage for a day filled with inner calm and contentment. This sense of peace becomes your anchor, helping you maintain balance and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Overcoming obstacles and resistance. While the practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning can be transformative, it may encounter resistance and obstacles. Understanding these challenges and learning how to overcome them is an essential part of your journey. Resistance to change. One common obstacle to adopting this practice is resistance to change. Your mind may resist new habits and routines. To overcome this, start small. Commit to practicing for just a week and gradually extend the duration as you become more comfortable. Doubt and skepticism. You might doubt the effectiveness of affirmations or question the impact of this practice. Remember that change takes time, and the power of affirmations lies in their consistent use. Keep an open mind and be patient with the process. Lack of consistency. Incorporating a new practice into your daily routine can be challenging. To maintain consistency, set a specific time each morning to recite the lines. Consider linking it to an existing habit, such as brushing your teeth, to make it a natural part of your routine. Finding support in community and teachers. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of community and guidance from experienced practitioners or teachers. Finding a supportive community or teacher can greatly enhance your practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning. Community support. Being part of a like-minded community can provide motivation and encouragement. Consider joining a local meditation group or participating in online forums dedicated to mindfulness and Buddhism. Sharing your experiences and insights with others can be inspiring and enlightening. Seeking a teacher. If you're new to Buddhism or the practice of affirmations, consider seeking guidance from an experienced teacher. A teacher can offer personalized instruction and help you navigate any challenges or doubts that may arise in your practice. The ripple effect. The transformative power of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning extends beyond your own life. As you embody the qualities of mindfulness, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace, you radiate positive energy that influences those around you. Impact on relationships. Practicing compassion for yourself and others, as affirmed in the 3rd line, has a profound impact on your relationships. When you approach others with empathy and understanding, your interactions become more harmonious and conflicts are resolved more peacefully. Inspirational leadership. Your commitment to wisdom, as stated in the 4th line, not only benefits your personal growth but can also inspire and lead others. Wise decision-making and clarity can make you an influential leader in your family, workplace, or community. Creating a peaceful environment. Your inner peace, as affirmed in the 5th line, becomes contagious. When you carry a sense of calm and tranquility, you create a peaceful environment for those around you. This can have a positive effect on the well-being of your loved ones and colleagues. Challenges and pitfalls. While the practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning can be a source of inspiration and growth, it is essential to be aware of potential challenges and pitfalls that may arise. Rote recitation. Repeating the lines mechanically without connecting with their meaning can lead to a loss of their transformative power. To avoid this, periodically reflect on the significance of each line and make adjustments if needed. Overly high expectations. While affirmations are a potent tool, they are not a magical solution to all life's problems. It's crucial to maintain realistic expectations and understand that change takes time and effort. Overcoming negative self-talk. One of the primary benefits of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is countering negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can be pervasive and damaging, undermining your self-esteem and well-being. By replacing this negativity with positive affirmations, you can transform your self-talk and cultivate a more constructive inner dialogue. Identifying negative self-talk. To overcome negative self-talk, start by identifying the specific thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. Are you constantly criticizing yourself or doubting your abilities? Are you excessively self-critical or judgmental? Challenging negative beliefs. Once you've identified negative self-talk patterns, challenge those beliefs. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," counter it with the affirmation, "I am at peace with myself." By replacing self-criticism with self-acceptance, you gradually change the way you perceive yourself. Consistent practice. Consistency is key in overcoming negative self-talk. Regularly practicing the 5 affirmations reinforces the positive messages and gradually weakens the negative ones. Over time, you'll find that your inner dialogue becomes more supportive and compassionate. The integration of mindfulness. Mindfulness is at the core of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning. By incorporating mindfulness into this practice, you can deepen your self-awareness and presence in the moment. Mindful recitation. As you speak the 5 lines, do so with full awareness. Pay attention to the words, the emotions they evoke, and the intentions they set. This mindful recitation not only enhances the effectiveness of the practice, but also cultivates mindfulness throughout your day. Mindful breathing. Incorporate mindful breathing into your morning ritual. Take a few deep breaths before and after reciting the lines to center yourself and ground your awareness in the present moment. This simple act can enhance your overall sense of mindfulness. The journey of self-discovery. The practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is not just a set of affirmations, but a profound journey of self-discovery. It allows you to explore your inner world and connect with your true self. Reflecting on your progress. Regularly take the time to reflect on your progress and experiences with the practice. What changes have you noticed in your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors? How have these changes influenced your daily life and interactions with others? Adapting the lines. As you progress on your journey, you may find it valuable to adapt the lines to better align with your personal growth. The affirmations can evolve as you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your aspirations. Beyond the morning ritual. While speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is a powerful practice, its benefits can extend beyond the morning hours. Here, we explore how to integrate the principles of these affirmations into your daily life. Midday reminders. Set reminders throughout the day to reconnect with the affirmations. Take a few moments during your lunch break or a break in your daily routine to recite the lines and renew your commitment to mindfulness, gratitude, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. Evening reflection. In the evening, reflect on your experiences and actions throughout the day. How did the affirmations influence your choices and interactions? What moments challenged your commitment to mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom? This reflection helps you learn from your experiences and refine your practice. Embracing imperfection. Buddhism teaches us to embrace imperfection and recognize that we are all works in progress. Similarly, the practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is not about striving for perfection, but about cultivating growth and self-compassion. Release the need for perfection. Let go of the idea that you must execute the practice flawlessly every day. Some days you may find it more challenging to connect with the affirmations, and that's okay. Imperfection is part of the human experience. Self-compassion. Practice self-compassion by forgiving yourself for any lapses or moments of negativity. Understand that these moments are opportunities for growth and self-discovery, a lifelong journey. The practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is not a short-term fix, but a lifelong journey. As you continue to recite these affirmations, you'll find that your understanding of them deepens, and their impact on your life becomes more profound. Consistency over time. Consistency is key in reaping the long-term benefits of this practice. As you continue to affirm your commitment to mindfulness, gratitude, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace, these qualities become integrated into your daily life. The evolving self. Your journey of speaking these lines evolves as you do. Your understanding of the principles they embody becomes more nuanced, and their application becomes increasingly integrated into your character. The universal wisdom of Buddhism. The practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is a contemporary interpretation of age-old Buddhist wisdom. Buddhism's teachings have universal applicability, transcending cultural and religious boundaries. Interfaith integration. The principles of mindfulness, gratitude, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace are not exclusive to Buddhism. They can be embraced by individuals of various faiths or even those who do not adhere to any religious tradition. These principles promote universal values of well-being and personal growth. Cultural and global impact. Buddhism's influence extends far beyond its ancient origins. It has a significant cultural and global impact, inspiring individuals worldwide to seek personal transformation and inner peace. The practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is a contemporary manifestation of this global inspiration. Overcoming challenges and adversities. Life is full of challenges and adversities, and the practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning can provide you with the inner strength and resilience needed to navigate them. Mindfulness in difficult times. During challenging moments, the mindfulness cultivated through your morning practice can help you stay grounded and composed. It allows you to respond to adversity with clarity and equanimity, rather than reacting with fear or stress. Compassion in conflict. In times of conflict or adversity, your commitment to compassion becomes invaluable. It enables you to approach difficulties with empathy and understanding, helping to build bridges and foster resolutions. Wisdom in decision-making. When facing tough decisions, the wisdom gained from your practice becomes a guiding light. It aids you in making choices that align with your true self and your spiritual journey, even in the face of uncertainty. Inner peace as a sanctuary. During turbulent times, your inner peace is your sanctuary. It offers a space of calm and solace where you can find strength and refuge. In the face of life's challenges, it becomes your anchor, allowing you to weather the storms with grace. Sharing the practice. The benefits of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning are not meant to be hoarded but shared with others. When you share this practice, you extend the ripple of positivity and inspire those around you. Teaching the practice. Consider teaching this practice to your friends, family, or colleagues who may benefit from it. Share your experiences and the positive changes you've observed in your life. Invite others to join you in this transformative journey. Leading by example. As you live out the principles of mindfulness, gratitude, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace, you naturally lead by example. Your actions and demeanor can inspire others to adopt similar practices and attitudes in their lives. So, the practice of speaking 5 lines to yourself every morning is not just a simple morning ritual. It is a profound journey of self-discovery and transformation rooted in the rich wisdom of Buddhism. These 5 lines encompass the core principles of mindfulness, gratitude, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. By consistently reciting these affirmations and embodying their essence, you embark on a path that can lead to a life of greater fulfillment, contentment, and wisdom. As you reflect on the wisdom of Buddhism and the power of self-affirmation, remember that this practice is a journey. It is a journey of recognizing the impermanence of life, cultivating gratitude, fostering compassion, seeking wisdom, and finding inner peace. It's a journey of mindfulness and self-discovery, of embracing your imperfections, and of navigating the challenges and adversities of life with grace and resilience. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity and universality. It can be embraced by people of all backgrounds and beliefs, for the principles it encompasses are deeply human and universally applicable. Whether you are seeking a more meaningful and fulfilling life, or simply looking for a way to infuse your daily routine with wisdom and compassion, these 5 lines can be your guiding light. The journey is not without its challenges and obstacles, but it is in overcoming them that you grow and evolve. It is in sharing the practice with others that you create a ripple effect of positive change in your community and beyond. By consistently speaking these 5 lines to yourself every morning, you not only transform your life, but also contribute to the betterment of the world. In the words of the Buddha, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The journey to inner peace and enlightenment begins with you, within you. Embrace this practice as a daily reminder of your potential for growth, compassion, and wisdom. May it serve as a source of inspiration, motivation, and transformation, guiding you on a lifelong journey of self-discovery and self-actualization. Remember that you are the author of your own story, and these 5 lines are the brushstrokes with which you paint your masterpiece. With each morning, you have the opportunity to create a life that is more mindful, compassionate, and wise. As you embark on this journey, may you find the peace, serenity, and joy that Buddhism offers, and may it become an integral part of your daily life. Embrace the power of self-affirmation And let these 5 lines be your daily companions on the path to a life transformed by the wisdom of Buddhism. Your journey has just begun, and the possibilities are endless. As the sun rises each morning, may you rise with it, awaken to the potential within you, and speak these 5 lines with the fullness of your heart.